All right,
I don't know.
so we talked about it a little earlier, Nas, before you got here, and we're not going to role play the stuff we talked about on Google Plus. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have you as Nero recap the things that you said there. So I put it in the chat. So go ahead and read
Okay.
that, please.
It's not in the chat that I have because I came late.
I just pasted it now, like just now. Did you?
Did I get it?
In the VTT
In
chat.
the
Oh,
VTT
it's in the
tab. I'm
VTT
sorry.
chat.
Yes,
I apologize.
my fault.
Okay, so Nero basically does his best to coax BB out of the cell where the body is. He's like, I'm going to clean you up. I can't fix anything, but if you want this to be the regular thing, I can make it so that happens. You have to, but we have to do this with certain rules. I can make it happen for you. So assuming Boozlebob comes out, Nero explains what he tells the surgeon. What's the surgeon's name? Hermea?
Guria, right?
Guria Rohalindi, yeah.
He basically is helping her look over Boozlebob's wounds and explaining what happened. And he basically tells her that while we were out of the room, Bolgert and Boozlebob were at each other verbally. And at some point, one of the bars was displaced. I wasn't in the room. I don't know who displaced it. So he says at one point, somehow one of the bars got rocked out of the cell. And Bolgart and Boozlebob, having an opportunity to go at each other, had been talking about it and went to it. When I did see Bolgert, he had turned into some boar-type monster and was mauling Boozlebob. They were all over the cell block. There's blood everywhere. Awen and Vors were injured in the melee. As we tried to get them apart, Bolgert was killed and then turned back. I wanted you to come look at these wounds because this is not a wound that a fist could make. This is where I saw the boar gore him. You know, and there's this and that, and he's basically looking over the wound, looking for hair, whiskers, whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. So that's awesome. And so Iwen actually was the one that went to go get the doctor. Did anybody go with her, or did she go alone to?
No, she went alone and she stayed, according to the chat.
Correct.
Well, she, assuming the doctor wanted to, which I assume.
Correct. Yeah, we're not going to role play that, but yeah, she would basically ask you to stay and tend to the people. It's nighttime, so it's mostly quiet, but you know you still have to tend to some of the people. So while that's happening, Mr. Jeff, give me a perception check.
Sure.
And also a diplomacy check after it.
Ooh, you ain't see shit.
Diplomacy. This one.
Okay.
Ooh!
So tonight you're especially cheerful as you're tending to people, and you're getting the same sort of war stories from the same sort of people. Most of the people in the ward like to talk about their history and where they've been, but one of them is a loyal Thruni, basically, like one of the people that served House Thrun in the Civil War. He seems to tell more stories than anybody else. He seems to have seen more battle. He's killed more men. It's like everything he's done. He's like the Donald Trump of war stories. Everything he's done is amazing.
But did he actually do it?
Well, you don't know. You'd have to go find out. But he's talking as if like he was the best soldier. I was this. I got promoted the fastest. Blah blah blah. He gives you all those stories. And tonight, as you're tending, he kind of calls you over, and he says, "Hey, I just thought you should know. I saw some people in here last night, and I didn't like the look of them."
Who did you see? What kind of people? Did you recognize them?
He shakes his head. He says it was four guys, strong guys, young guys, just with cloaks, black cloaks, and I don't know. They were moving a lot of boxes into the storeroom.
Were they just in and out? Were they looking around? Like what else did they? I mean, like were they acting suspiciously?
He says they were in and out real quick. They just brought a lot of boxes into the storeroom and then they left.
And they didn't say anything either.
Did
it seem like the doctor recognized them?
The doctor was with them.
Oh, the doctor was. She like escorted them in, basically.
Yeah, she opened the door. She let them in.
Okay. Well then, I think if that's the case, then Iwan would probably go into the storage room to try to figure out, like, since she was in there before, what boxes look new.
Yeah, and you were in there today. That's why I had you make the perception check. You were actually, you went in there for like a fresh bedpan or whatever it was, and you didn't notice anything out of the ordinary while you were in there. But now that he's sent you back in, make another perception check with a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you get a good look and you know what you're looking for, and you can kind of tell that a lot of the boxes here have been moved. There's very visible evidence on the floor that a lot of these boxes are new and basically placed here. And go ahead and make throw me a knowledge check and a heal check.
Man, all right, lots of checks tonight. Knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's see this one.
Okay, yeah. So you're looking around, and they're all labeled. All the boxes have labels on the names on the side, labeled on the side, and they're all just mundane things that you'd have for a place like this. Bandages and things like that. But you're looking around, and it doesn't seem to add up. You seem like you're smart enough to know, you've been around things like this, that they have too many bandages. There's no way they have this many crates of bandages. Why would they have this? And you have a couple of crates in mind that you think are suspicious. It's suspicious that there's this many of those things here.
Okay. Any of them that look like they'd be easy to open? Like what? How are these things?
They're all big wooden crates. So you would need like a crowbar. They're sealed like that.
Okay. Is there anything like that around that Iwan could grab and try to pry one of them?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly where the crowbar would be, but you would find something you think you could do it with. Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a d20 just to see how funny it is for the little gnome to try to break it open. We'll see if it takes you more than a couple.
Well,
0 points.
And also, can we make part of the skill check like her trying to do it in a way that wouldn't be noticeable afterwards? You know what I mean? Like trying to not break it.
Sure.
Like she'd be basically trying to like pry and look in without opening per se, if that makes any sense.
Sure. What's a good? I'm looking at your skill sheet trying to find something. I was gonna go with disabled device, but you're not trained, so you can't really use that. I don't know what else with. Just roll a d20. We'll see what happens. But yeah, you're trying to be subtle about it.
It's gonna be agility, maybe. Well, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be dex based because you're gonna be trying to be nimble about it. But there's some strength to it. Yeah, so you struggle with it for a while, but you are able to pry it open eventually, and you don't leave any noticeable marks. And the one that you open. Yes, so you open this, and you see a bunch of simple weapons inside of it. Clubs, daggers, things like that.
Okay. Well, so then I think Iwan would basically, like, try to leave without leaving any trace, and then go back down to the guy who mentioned it to her, and just kind of, like, tell him what she saw and thank him for letting her know, and that she basically that she promises him that she's going to try to get to the bottom of what the deal is with that.
Okay, so you're completely honest. You told him like, oh, you said I found weapons here.
Yeah, I think she would be totally honest with him.
Oh yeah, then he's really happy that you share that with him. Are you like whispering quietly with him so no one else overhears? Okay, yeah. So he's really happy, and you hear him laugh like, and he's really excited to like be back in it. Like he feels like he's in the fight. He's fighting for Thrun again, and he's really happy. And you've been really good with him. That's the diplomacy check you made so well. He's he likes you as a person. He's really happy to be talking with you. And that's it. So I guess you're just going to hang out there until the doctor comes back?
I'm trying to think if I would want to do anything else. Nothing else around the place looks suspicious or new, right? It's just basically just those boxes.
That's all you saw. While you were doing your day, that was the 7 you rolled. While you were spending hours there, you didn't notice anything out of amiss.
She probably would also ask the guy around what time of day the guys came.
He said it was very late, like 2 a.m, probably.
Okay. Okay, interesting. All right. And this was the only day that they had ever been by.
He said, this is the first time I've seen him, but truth be told, I sleep pretty heavily.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I want to do with that encounter then.
Okay. All right, so Iwan's gone for all of the things that Nero talked about earlier, basically explaining to the doctor. Again, we're not going to roleplay that out. He just did that. And the doctor looks, and she does agree with Nero. She does see wounds on Boozle Bob that look like gore wounds. She's a trained doctor. She's seen injuries like this before, and she can't explain how he would have gotten gored by a boar. And there's also fur and things like that kind of corroborate the fact that maybe he was a werewolf, but that's as substantial as the claims can get. Like, there's no real way to prove that he's afflicted by this. It's a magical disease. It's not a regular disease you can like prove in a lab or something. Also, labs don't really exist yet. Good luck getting DNA for the werewolf, the werewolf. Anyway, so she sees this, and I guess Naz, you're gonna make a diplomacy check because you didn't lie in any of that. You skirted around truths, but you didn't bend any.
Sure.
So go ahead and make a
I don't like
diplomacy
to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've convinced her. And while you're recounting the story, she's nodding along. And just like in all your other encounters with her in the past, she's cold and logical. She just basically, like, when she was asking you about the edicts, for example, when you responded in ways that weren't, like, direct, that normally bothered other people, made them get angry with you, she was just very logical and moved on to her next question. And she continues like that. So she's looking around and she's agreeing with you. She says, yeah, I can see from this wound that, something gored him from this high. And she's a little bit of CSI agreeing with you. And, yeah, so that's true. She says, this is a lot of blood. She looks around. And she confirms that Bolgart is dead, very dead. Again, he has like a flail-sized hole in the center of his chest, and his entire like lungs and heart are just collapsed in paste. And she looks around and says, I pronounce him dead.
So while this is all going on, Boozy B is like rocking back and forth, staring at his hands, saying magic.
Yeah, and your hands. I guess are your hands bloody at all? Like, you didn't really get too many punches in on them, so I don't know. You just stare at your hands, going magic.
Yeah.
What does Boozy Beep sound like? Do a Boozy Bee voice.
He's basically retarded, so.
All right, don't do a Boozy Bee voice. Never mind. Forget I asked you to do a Boozy Bee voice. Okay. So, yeah, so that's it. Do you guys want to do anything else with the doctor? Or you've convinced her of your story?
I just want to have her help cleaning up the gang. So I'll start cleaning up Vors and ask if she could start cleaning up Bob, just because they don't want her to notice that probably Bob thumped Vors.
Okay, yeah, you're going to keep her CSI vision away from the others? Okay. Yeah, so she'll do that, and she doesn't have any magic or anything like that, so she's basically just stitching him up and going to make a heal check. I'll go over to another map and make it. I'm going to go find her and mash the heal button. Yeah, she did pretty good. So we'll say she heals you for double your level, so she gives you 4 hit points back. And you got disconnected, Booze, for whatever reason.
He doesn't want that heal.
He doesn't want it. He didn't want it. I think you should be able to heal each other. I think I gave you access to all your other tokens, but let me know if you can't, and I'll fix it. Let's see.
I can't.
Okay, sorry, I'll get him. 14.
No big deal. 14 for Vors, and then...
Yeah, it tops me off.
Yep. Boozy B, you have like an angry face. Is that rage? Is that what your red thing is?
He disconnected from the call, too. You should just yell at him.
My God!
Oh. I see.
Thanks, Nero.
Yeah, no worries.
You can heal Iwan too?
I mean, I assume... Yeah, when she gets back, I'll heal her, but yeah, I'll do that quick.
Right. She's not really here. But if you're not doing anything else with the doctor, she's going to go back to the hostel? Hospice, sorry.
I'll slip her a 10 for her time and her... just to thank you for coming and helping healing us up.
What do we do with the body?
She says, I can send for somebody, or you can help me bring it back to the hospice. And she says that they have a morgue.
Sure.
It's not on the map,
Sure,
but
let's
just
do that.
pretend they have one. Like she can help prepare the body.
Sure.
Yeah. As you're helping her with the body, she kind of says that. Oh well, first off, do you want to walk with her, or do you want to send somebody first? Sorry.
I would walk with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're gonna help move the body, so as you're walking back to the place, she kind of says that Bolgart was an Iomedean follower, and that he would probably want to be buried at the church. There's a graveyard outside the church, and he would probably want to be buried there. So she can help to prepare the body, but in the morning you should probably contact the church if you want to, respect the way he would have wanted to go.
Sure. He was excitable, but certainly not a bad guy.
And she nods, and again, she's showing very little emotion. She's just like confirming the fact that you just said. All right. So you guys make it back, and so it was Nero and who else went? Did you go, Vors?
Yeah, I won.
Okay, Boozle Bob, did you go as well? Are you on the call again? You're muted.
I'm back on the call. I missed whatever was going on.
So the doctor came. You told her a story. She believes you. And Nero asked, "What do we do with the body?" She said, I can take it and I can prepare it for their funeral or whatever." And they're going to take the body away. Is Boozle Bob already angry at that, or are you okay?
No, Boozle Bob's fine with that. Boozle Bob is still staring at his hands.
Okay, so you're staring your
and,
hand.
and he's now like pretending like he's casting spells with his hands.
Okay. This is going to be good when you take a spellcaster level. Or maybe not. Anyway, so Nero and Vors are leaving you, Boozle Bob, and helping to move the body with the doctor. So you're going to stay in the jail alone while they do that, staring at your hands.
No, Boozle Bob's with them. He's doing this while he's with
Okay,
them.
so you're walking with them. Okay, got it. Okay. So all of you arrive at the hospice, and Iwan is there, and I guess you knock on the door, and, she lets you in. And what would you like to do? There's it.
From a tenor.
Nice.
Okay.
Sorry, one other thing. Can we also say that Iwan asked the guy who she told about the weapons to just keep it a secret between them so that Iwan can figure out what's going on? Basically
sure.
not to tell the doctor.
Sure. We can say that happened. Okay. So I'm dragging you back to the hospice map. And I'm not sure what that... Where's the campaign? I'm not sure what that mad thing on you is, Boozle Bob. But it's gone now. Alright, so you're all there, and you brought Bulgart. And I don't know, there's not really a morgue place, but I'm just going to dump him in the kitchen, pretend there's a morgue there. And so she thanks you for helping move the body. And she almost forgets you're there for a second. She begins looking around to see if anybody needs tending to, but then remembers that, I still have this group of people here. And she looks back and says, "Can I do anything else for you?"
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, I would just basically tell her that, everybody seemed fine. They were all in good spirits. She heard some good war stories. Just like putting her at ease that everything went okay while she was gone.
Okay.
And that she'll see her tomorrow, basically.
Okay. Give me a bluff check,
Okay.
just for fun. It's not a hard one. Yeah, she wants to believe what you're saying, so she believes you. You didn't fail horribly, so there you go. If you had failed abysmally, she might be a little onto you, but no, she nods, and she's very thankful. She thanks you for your service, for everything you've done, and she goes about her work. All right, so you guys are good.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the jail. What are you guys doing? It's nighttime.
Well, once we're outside and out of earshot, I would basically say, we've got a problem, and would, tell the group about what she saw, and then, basically try to get people to think about what we want to do about it. Maybe we want to have somebody scout the... Did it look... So when Iwan was in the room with the boxes, did it look like there was more space? Would she think that more boxes might fit or be coming?
Yes, there was
Over
more
there.
space in the room. And you opened, let's just, I kind of only said you opened one. Let's say you popped open a couple. Some of them did have medical supplies. So some of them were genuinely what they said they were. So did you tell the whole party everything?
Yes.
Okay. And Vors, I don't think you told anybody else, but from the note that Mr. Igno gave you that she was desperately in need of medical supplies. and that's it.
And money.
And money, yeah.
And money.
She owes back taxes, and she's very short on medical supplies. And it's not just that she is; the entire town is short on medical supplies. Like, it's not like she can just go and buy some because the town is
She's
short on them.
taking, she's holding things she shouldn't be holding in exchange for medical supplies and money to pay her taxes, so she can keep operating.
Mhm.
She
Yeah,
doesn't occur to me.
she's just doing what she has to do, pretty much.
We can use that. She occurs to me as someone that can be reasoned with. She's not a zealot.
No, she's a pragmatist. Like, she's gonna like do anything she can to keep like helping people in the town, like even in spite of the government.
So do we try to figure out who these folks are through her, or do we do some reconnaissance at night? Do we maybe ask a gate guard or something like that? Maybe somebody else saw them. What are we thinking?
I could ask a few people. I'm not exactly sure who would be up at this time, but we can find out who was watching the town, what guards were on duty.
I'll take one of the shifts, just kind of watching if anybody else goes in the hospital.
All right, I'll catch a little sleep and clean up the blood, and then we'll take care of that. I'll stop off and get some sawdust.
Anybody have anything else to say? You guys good?
I'm gonna go scout out the docks.
Scout at the dock. It's nighttime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that was awesome. You guys made a plan while role playing. That was amazing. That's fantastic. All right, so you're gonna go check out the docks, and I'm just gonna dump her back on the jail map. Okay. All right. So what would you like to do at the docks, Vors? It's late. It's like midnight or whatever we'll say. It's pretty late at night.
Well, set the scene for me. What am I looking at?
You. I'm the worst shit in the world, yeah. Yeah, so you come over the hill, and it's nighttime, and it's a full moon. Incidentally, no one noticed or asked before because there wasn't a werebore, but it is a full moon. So it's actually kind of bright out, and you can see silhouettes of small buildings and long piers that make up the Longacre docks. And it's a little bit out of town, so you actually had to go outside of the city gates and then go almost a couple miles north until you hit the river. And that's what you see. There's a couple of flickering lights on small buildings, but there's not really any active traffic right now that you can see.
Okay. Are there any boats?
Yeah, there are a couple of docked boats, small ones, small like river barges.
Okay. Are there like any like torches lit or anything like that that would indicate a like that somebody's like actually there and around?
Yeah, some of the small buildings you can see like the flickering torches inside, so you can see like through small windows and stuff like that. So you believe there are people at least in the buildings.
Okay. Is there anywhere where I could like take cover on in the woods or like nearby or something like that?
Yeah. You can say that there's some small, not really woods, but like bushes and stuff on the side, like off the road. Yeah. What are you trying to do?
All right then. Just it's a stakeout.
Okay. All right. So how long you can just stay there all night, or what's your plan?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I don't know, like, yeah, I figured I'd stick around until I see like some action.
Okay.
Or some I guess like movement and like if anybody's there.
Okay. So you hang out for a couple hours and don't notice anything. Are you just gonna stay like the whole night? You're gonna stay there until like the sun comes up, or?
No. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll stay there.
Okay. So while that's happening, is anybody else doing anything, or is you basically cleaning up the blood like Nero said, and then going to bed?
Well, I was gonna.
Boozlebob starts smacking himself in the face.
The hospital, like probably between the hours of 1 and 4 or something like that.
I didn't hear that because I think you talked over each other. So Jeff, go first. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to find a place that she could hide and still see the doc's office.
Mm-hmm.
and just stay there maybe between the hours of 1 and 3 or something, like when she thinks they might be showing up.
Okay. All right.
And probably in a spot where she might be able to see their face if they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure. And like I said, it is a full moon, so it is fairly bright out. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. All right. And Boozlebob, what were you doing? Sorry.
Boozlebob starts smacking himself in the face and shouting magic.
And do you sleep in the jail, Boozlebob, or are you still sleeping in the jail?
No, I'm gonna sleep on this table right here.
Well, but still in the jail. Okay, so you're sleeping on the big table.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I thought you meant in the cell when you said jail.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Nero and Iwen, are you sleeping at Nero's house?
Probably stay here tonight in case there's more trouble.
Okay, you two hang out there, and Vors is at the docks. All right. So, and Iwen's also, she's out right now. So between those hours, Iwen, no one comes in or out of the hospice that you see. And you would come back to the jail?
Yeah.
Okay. So you come back to the jail, and you will sleep there. And Vors, shortly before the sun comes up, you see some activity on the docks. Just some people getting ready for the day ahead, and you see a merchant basically preparing his boat to leave.
What's like? Can I see like any wares or like anything on his boat?
You
Like,
can
is there anything conspicuous that would identify like the sort of merchant that he is?
So yeah, you look over his boat. Give me a perception check and then a knowledge check, because you're kind of far away, so you're looking from a bit. Do you have any cool Slayer abilities that give you bonuses to perception that I should know about?
Ooh,
I'll look up the class.
I don't think so, but
go ahead and make those checks, perception and knowledge, and I'll see what does studied target do. That's.
I don't even have that. Or I've studied socialite.
Oh, I see. I'll look that up too. So yeah, go ahead and make those checks.
Yeah, I don't have study target yet.
Okay. Yeah, then it's just going to be a straight check then, perception and knowledge.
Where is my character? I'm up there. That was terrible.
Yeah. Go ahead
I
and make
saw
your
nothing.
knowledge. Yeah. You didn't see anything or notice anything that identified him in any real way. You just know that he's probably, he's a merchant from somewhere else, probably somewhere along this river. And whatever happened, he's getting up to leave town now.
Okay. Does he look like he's in a hurry? And is there anybody else there that could be, like, basically, would it look normal for somebody to approach him to buy things?
It doesn't look like he's in a hurry. He seems to be moving at a normal pace, and there's a bunch of people on the dock, like basically finishing loading his ship. Like there's still moving boxes and stuff like that. And he's kind of like overseeing it, and kind of casually looking at people moving things. It's a little out of the place to be buying something from him here because he's basically getting ready to leave. But it wouldn't be a place to walk up and talk to him.
Okay, I guess. And also, like, how many boats are on the dock? Like, is it like a pier or is it a dock?
It's a couple of piers. It's like 2 or 3 piers. So there's only 2 boats there. It's his and someone else's, and he's just getting ready to leave.
Okay.
Ever since the Archbaron put up his decrees, fewer trading ships have come because why? Some of them can't even get into town.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll walk down there and wait, and I get a closer look, I guess.
Okay. Do you want to do anything? We don't have to role play the scene with him, but do you want to do anything? What do you want to say? What do you want to say to him? What are you trying to do?
So how's the weather? Is it nice?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice day. It's almost the beginning of fall, basically. So it's a little chilly, but it's otherwise nice.
Okay. Yeah, I'll basically just ask him like, hey, how, where are you headed? And yeah, like, where are you headed? Like, the weather looks pretty nice. Like, it should be like smooth sailing. And I'm just wondering, like, how often do you come through Longacre? It's because I may be looking to hitch a ride. Or actually, I would ask that after he said where he was going.
Yeah, that's fine. So basically, you have a conversation with him, and you ask him these questions casually, and he doesn't seem suspicious or anything like that. So he just answers you honestly, and he says he's came from upriver from around Sonara, and he's gonna head down to Remisiana, and then back again. So basically, he says on the way back, I might not stop at Longacre though. I didn't sell too many things, and with all the taxes, the people here can't afford my wares.
Okay. That's a shame. I guess. Do you think you'll have a better market down in Remisiana?
He says, I hope so. It's a larger city, so I'm hopeful.
Good. Well, if you do come back, I'll look out for you because I've been meaning to head north for a while, and I'd rather not take the journey on foot.
Okay. He nods, and he says, how would he do this? So he would basically make a diplomacy check. Let's see how much he likes you based on this before he volunteers to do anything. Yeah, you didn't really impress him. So he says, I'm still not sure I'm coming, but if I do, I'll be sure to look you up.
Okay. What are your rates? Like for a ride to Sonara? How much would that cost?
That is a great question, and I don't know off the top of my head, but we'll say it is a reasonable, competitive rate.
Okay. Well, I know you said that you weren't willing to, you weren't necessarily going to stop here. What if I were to, put a down payment on a ride to entice you to? What's that?
He's curious. How much of a down payment are we talking?
I mean, what's the rate?
Oh, well, I mean, if you're asking me to go out of his way, I would say at least 100 gold, because he's basically he doesn't want to come here because he can't sell anything, and he has to waste weeks of his trip coming upriver like that.
Okay.
You're also confident that you could get another boat. You don't need his boat.
Yeah, I was like, for 100 gold, yeah, I'll find another boat.
Okay. He nods. He says, business is business, and he's basically done with you.
And I'm done with him.
Okay.
Did I notice anything else when I got closer?
Make another perception check. Yeah, get another one.
So far away.
Yeah. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary for docks. You just it's just normal dock work. And like I said, this is the only ship that's kind of leaving, and the other ship is just idle and empty.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to head back to the jail, or where does Vors sleep?
Vors doesn't sleep.
All right. Yeah, I guess you're staying up all day. All right. You're just going to come back to the jail?
Yeah, I'll go back to the jail and catch a few hours and shut-eye.
Okay. All right. So he gets there. Are you going to sleep for 8 hours fully, or are you going to just get a couple hours?
I guess just a couple hours.
Okay. You need to make a fortitude save to resist being fatigued or exhausted. I forget which.
Hey,
Fatigued, yeah.
Fatigued.
Fatigued.
You gotta get it.
Where is fortitude?
Fortitude. It's under defense. It's like a guy got a snake bite on his arm. Little green dots.
I wasn't even on the right tab.
Oh god, so many tabs. This is the worst software in the world.
You moved me, so I gotta click myself again.
Sorry. Wait, when I move you, you lose your thing? That sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah. I think you are fatigued, actually. I have to look it up, but I think you are tired.
Okay.
And I will give you the fatigue icon. Where is it?
What does that do?
-2 to everything.
That's a bummer.
-2 to strength and dexterity.
I need those things.
And you can neither run nor charge.
What's running? Is that like 25 steps or whatever?
Running is if you run in a straight line, you can move 4 times your speed, or 3 times if you're wearing heavier armor.
Oh, well, that would have been... That's handy.
That's all you can do. It's like a full round action. You waste your entire turn just running as fast as you can in one direction, straight.
Like Brave Sir Robin?
Sure. Alright, Boozy B is healed for 2. Everybody's healed for 2. I'll do it. Because you rested. Vors is tired, so I'll put this little red eye on you. And that's it. So that's good. And it's the next day. And what are you guys doing? Just normal stuff from everybody?
Boozlebob is still trying to cast spells.
And failing.
So
And failing
over breakfast, Nero will teach him like a simple blessing that's like a war blessing that they teach the acolytes of Asmodeus, and he's basically trying to get him to get the gist of this war blessing.
Boozlebob kind of looks at you and says, hold on, I'm trying to think cryptically. He and says, werepig.
Do this before you want to be a werepig? Or you think you are? Maybe.
DC again.
I don't know. He sits on the opposite end of the house from the modem.
Why does he do that?
I don't know.
So he'll basically try to teach him that blessing and tell him that he should say this before battle. If you want to fight like a werepig, that's what the Hell Knights say.
Okay. We'll go.
All right, hi.
Hi.
I'm back.
Yeah, so Nero, repeat that thing you just said, because that was a good summary.
Nero basically goes over the chant with you again that they say before battle and says, Hell Knights say this before they go into battle. If you want to fight like a werepig, you should learn to do that.
Boozlebob punches your head softly, like how he used to put his palm on your head. He punches you with that soft touch.
Okay. Shot in the arm.
Like a fist bump?
And he's gone.
Yeah.
We'll say yes.
Yeah, a fist bump to the head. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to roll a d20 for Boozlebob. And he does not do a good job of remembering the thing you told him. So, like you try for a while, and all the gestures are wrong, any of the words are wrong, he's just kind of blathering about it. And he does an absolutely horrible job.
But does he think he did a good job?
Yeah, he thinks he did a great
really-
job, unless Boozlebob
All right, that's all that matters.
How does Nero react? Are you going, no, 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 or are you just like, yeah? Like, how do you
I
react?
imagine he'll just go over it with him again. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Okay. All right. All right. So the next day happens, and did you guys want to do anything differently? You got a
I
corpse.
assume we'd have to report to
I've been
somebody
with-
about Bulgart.
Yeah, I mean, and Ivan would also suggest that they talk to the doctor and basically try to give her another option, and that she hopes that some of the group, especially Nero, might come with her for that conversation.
Sure, of course.
Is there anywhere in the town where I can get a cup of coffee?
Yeah. We'll say you can go to either of the two taverns. The Bogart's Tavern is still open. The Last Stand is still open, despite the owner not being there right now.
So I can get coffee and not be fatigued anymore?
Wait, so she got coffee and chili?
I'd have to look at what coffee does in the game. Does that remove fatigue? That's a great question.
No idea.
We'll give you another save. We'll say. So yeah. So go ahead and make another fortitude save after having a cup of coffee. And did anybody go? Yeah. So yeah, you're fine after
That's
that.
some good coffee, yeah.
Yeah, damn good coffee and hot.
Double shot.
So Boozy B, what are you doing in the morning?
I'm gonna go to the tavern.
Which tavern?
The Last Stand Tavern.
Okay. Yeah, and the two barmaids are there, same as usual.
I ask them for chili. I don't demand the chili. I ask them this time.
And the same one that always rolls her eyes at you says, "Triple chili, double beer."
Single chili, no beer.
Okay. She goes and retrieves you a chili.
All right. Boozlebob eats the chili cleanly, this time keeping his flail strapped to his boot, as it were.
Okay. And what? That's it?
And then while he's eating the chili, he looks at the barmaid and just keeps saying magic.
She wants nothing to do with you. Like, as you after the first couple times, she's tired of like rolling her eyes and sighing at you, so she actually just goes behind the curtain into the back.
All right. He's still gonna keep doing it. He's just gonna keep playing with his hands and saying magic.
Right. All right. So Nero and Iwin. So you wanted to report. You want to do the doctor thing before going to anybody to report to anybody, right? That was the plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
And did you want to do that alone, just Nero and Iwin, or did you want to wait for Boozle and Voris to get back from the tavern?
We could wait.
Did they want to come?
Yeah, I just really needed a cup of Joe.
Okay. So you guys want to go to the doctor?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Would you like to role play the scene, or what would you like to do?
I'm happy to.
Does anybody not want to role play the scene? Oh, okay. All right. Cut to the doctor.
Well, why don't you paint the scene for us?
So it's early morning. We'll say around what time do you guys wake up? Because you got whatever his name was.
Probably late.
Yeah.
I mean, I got back after dawn, so.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And you slept for a couple hours. So yeah. So we'll say it's almost noon. Actually, we'll say it took you guys a while to get up today and formulate your plans and everything. And you arrive at the hospice. You're just gonna knock on the door and try to get in.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Iwan would probably lead this as long as nobody objects.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so she opens the door and she's very happy to see Iwan because she's come for the past couple of days. It's been almost a week, or I think over a week actually. And Iwan's been serving well, and she's been doing a great job, and she's doing it for free. So she's very happy to see Iwan, and that's one of the few times she shows emotion is when she sees Iwan ready for the day. And she looks around at all the others, and her smile kind of fades back into her logical robot-like self, and she says, "What can I do for you? Have you come for the corpse?"
Well, yes, but there's also something that we're hoping to talk with you about first. And let me preface this by saying that you and I have become good friends. I have a lot of respect for what you're doing here. So I'm not angry at you, but last night while I was here, I was tending to my own wounds. I went through a couple of bandages and had to go restock. And when I went to open one of the boxes that was labeled with bandages, I happened to notice that there were some weapons inside. I know times are tough here. I know you're probably in a pretty bad way, and we understand that. So like I said, we're not this isn't an issue. We just want to see if we can help you out with the situation because this is just some dark stuff that you're probably in. Am I getting that right? Am I reading that right?
Yeah. So go ahead and make a diplomacy check, and while you're
Sure.
doing that, So she relents. She's not emotional about it. It's not like she sighs or cries or breaks down. She just she shakes her head for a while, and then just kind of bursts out with, yes, I did it. They had medical supplies. I couldn't get them anywhere else, and they said they'd give them to me for free and help me pay off my debts and taxes if I stored the weapons here for just a couple of nights.
So basically, first Iwan would just thank her for telling them that, and then how much do your medical supplies usually cost, and where do you get them? Is that something that we can potentially help you out with in the future?
Yeah, so I don't know the exact number. So she explains how much they cost, and they're not too much to adventurers like you who are making hundreds of gold, but to a commoner, something that costs 10 gold is crazy. It's hard for them to have. So she explains a bunch of things, and they're not too expensive, but she adds at the end that, ever since, the Archbaron, had all these decrees and all the taxes, fewer and fewer merchants have come here, and the supplies just aren't here to buy.
So can I ask you where you got these from?
And she reluctantly says, the people in the forest.
Can you help us understand who those people are a little bit better? We're here to help, remember.
She says she doesn't know much. She's less emotional about it than I am. She's very robotic. She says, I don't know much. They came to me. I didn't go to them. They came and they said, that they could help me. They said that they could do this for me. I don't know how they know I had problems, but they came to me knowing I had problems, and they were able to solve them immediately.
Do you know, are they coming back at some point?
And she says, yes, they're scheduled to come back in 2 days.
In the morning again?
She nods.
Okay. I think Iwan would basically try to wrap it up and say, something along the lines of, like, we're. Do you want to jump in, Naz?
If I might,
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate what Iwan was saying. We respect what you're doing here. And I know that you're getting tied up in this, but this is a dangerous time there are fanatics about. I think with your help, we could very much take a stab at making your tax problems disappear. Would it be all right if we set up here when they were supposed to return?
So she thinks about that for a minute, and she says, if they know I told you something, I'm not sure what they'd do."
I don't want anything to happen when they're indoors. I'm talking about they're going to come back, they're going to come in the front door, leave by the front door, right?
She nods.
Nothing would happen inside the hospice. I would assure you of that.
Yeah, and she nods, and you can hover over her token if you want to see what she looks like, what her face, her little portrait looks like. And she nods, and she seems very happy with your plan. Well, not very happy, but she seems to agree to your plan. She says, I'm not political. I don't care. I'm just here to serve people. And she gestures behind her, and you can kind of see through the curtain. She says, I have veterans from both sides of the Civil War in my ward.
That's why we came here like this, and we didn't come with soldiers and boots.
And she nods, and she says, I'm sorry this had to happen, but she shakes her head like, I couldn't find another way.
No, this will be fine. I'm going to put in a word with the Archbearer myself for you, and I'm going to see what I can't do to help you. I'll be sure to let them know that you were helping the cause, helping keep the peace.
Yeah, go ahead and make a diplomacy check too, Naz.
Sure.
And how good was your schmoozing? Yeah, your schmoozing was fantastic. So she's pleased. She actually smiles a bit, and she says, "All I want to do is continue my work here. Thank you for helping me do that."
I'm a healer too. I understand.
She's very happy. She's happy to hear that. So yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to do with the doctor?
Was this also where we do the corpse?
Oh yeah. What do you want to do with the corpse? That's true too. Yeah.
Maybe I should prepare. Do we want to show up on their door with a corpse, or do we want to?
She admits that she hasn't had much time to prepare it. She says she's cleaned it a bit, but she hasn't prepared it or anything like that.
Well, does she need help? And would she give us a letter, like basically vouching for the body, like so that we could bring it to the church?
She says, "Oh yes," and she points to a piece of paper on her desk. I've already written up a formal report, and she points. There's 2 copies on the desk.
Where does the other one need to be filed?
At the town clerk or whatever it's called, notary, the town notary.
Okay. It's like, all right, so I guess, do we offer to help clean up the body? Like, does she have time if we help her?
Yeah, especially Nero. Nero would know what he's doing, or maybe Iwan would probably also know what she's doing. So if either of you want to help her prepare the body, she's very grateful for that, because she also needs to attend to all these old people who are waking up and want breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so Iwan would ask Nero to help her out, and basically would volunteer to help out with the old people again, like she usually does.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, we don't have to role play all that. That's fine. You prepare the corpse. What do you want to do with it after you've prepared it and fed all the old people?
I should check in with the work crew. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to take a slow walk, and I'll meet you at the church.
Okay.
Ty. Ty baby.
Yeah, Ty baby, winding at the door like a baby.
So Nero will show up with the work crew and just basically he sort of purple monkey dishwashers things. He sort of lets them know about Bolgert and what happened, and he's basically telling a lot of he's telling mostly the truth and is very, as he was last night. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make another diplomacy check to see how you influence the crowd.
Sure.
And so basically you're going to show up with the corpse at the church is the plan?
Yeah, after he tells the work crew about it and gets some rumor going.
Okay. And then you send the work crew off to do their work crew stuff?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just take you
And he'll do something nicely, like pay them for the day in advance and just basically say, I don't have time to check in with you, but if we could get this much done today, that would be ideal.
Okay. And most of the workers are genuinely interested in the labor. So you think some of them might just run off with the money for the day, but you think most of them probably will do their jobs.
Sure.
And all of you want to be at the church when you're delivering the corpse, or who's there?
I'm going.
Yeah, Boozlebob's there.
Okay. So what's the plan? You're just going to go into the church and offer up the body? Is someone going to go in and talk to them first?
I'll go in with the... Or is Nero, you're here with us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Nero, why don't you go in with the official report, and I'll stay here with Booze.
Okay.
Okay. I want to... Let's see. Let me look at this real quick before I do anything stupid.
Bob, remember, blessing like we practiced.
Bob was disconnected when the blessing was learned.
That's okay. He didn't really learn it very well anyway, apparently.
Yeah,
So
I rolled a d20 for you to make a whatever check, like basically an intelligence check to see how well you did, and you did not learn the thing very well.
Okay, well,
well,
Bob gives you a really terrible rendition of the prayer.
Correct. Like you think you did an okay job. Nero told you that he'd do it again with you tomorrow in practice, but basically all your hand gestures and words are wrong. Like you're mispronouncing everything, and you're not doing the thing right.
Right. I would like to bring up the point that Mike didn't have the opportunity to drop a hero point on Booze when he's trying to learn. Just saying.
That's true. If you want to use a hero point, you can re-roll it, or you can add a +4 to it.
I don't want to.
All right. Fair enough. So did the map load for you guys? The Church of Iomade? All right. So Vors and Nero are going at... Oh, no. Vors is hanging back with Boozlebob. Is anyone else going with Nero? Iwan?
I think Iwan actually probably would have stayed at doing her usual duty at the hospice.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm going to leave it on this map so we're all together. But that's fine. You guys, you're off on your duties. All right. So Nero, you go in alone, and you enter this narthex, I think it's called. It's like the entrance to the church. And very quickly, one of the twins, Lauren Alamar, comes up and asks you what business you have here. You can hover over him to see him with his little mace on his shoulder.
Sure. I come with bad news, unfortunately.
Says, oh, what news?
Bolgert. There was an incident at the jail, and Bolgert was killed, unfortunately.
And he seems shocked. He jumps back and he says, oh, Bolgert Kagan, the owner of the Last Stand Tavern. He's dead?
I've never seen anything like it. I can barely put it into words. If I hadn't seen it myself, I wouldn't believe it.
And seen what? And he's a little suspicious of you now.
He basically gives him sort of the rundown that he gave the doc, and that basically a bar. The two of them were at each other the whole day, and then all of a sudden one of the bars was out of the jail, and Bob and Bolgert were all over each other. And the next time I saw Bolgert, he had turned into some kind of boar creature. I've only ever read about things like that.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check. And he's suspicious of you, but you're not lying. So he doesn't like the sense motive check doesn't even make sense. So, your story doesn't really convince him. He seems a little suspicious of you, but he doesn't think you're lying. He's a little lost for words, and he says, "1 minute," and he goes and summons his brother and his mother. So there's his brother, Lakal Alamar, and Tilieva, or what is it? Tilieva?
Whatever.
Teliava. And she's the fifth sword knight of Iomedae. And she shows up, and basically you recount the story for her. And she says, where is the body?
It's outside the church. I didn't want to bring it in unless you wanted it a specific place. I know that he respected your faith, and I know that he'd want to be buried here.
She nods, and she says, that's very respectful of you. And she basically moves to go outside to see the body.
Wait, I have the report from Garia. Garia came and I didn't even know where to begin. And Garia came and looked it over.
Okay, yeah. So you hand her the document. So she begins looking it over, but she doesn't stop walking. She's looking at it, and then she comes out.
I'll go with her.
Okay. And her sons follow behind. And she looks at the corpse. I didn't actually bring it over here, but she looks at it. And Nero points out the gore wounds and stuff like that, the stuff that's on the report. And she seems convinced because you weren't lying. You're telling the truth, and you're corroborating it with the corpse. And the wounds on Boozlebob. Some of them have healed up, but stuff like that. And she shakes her head and says, I don't understand. And she just seems confused by it. But
I agree, just senseless.
So she looks at you and she says, again, this is very respectful of you. Like we'll make sure he's buried here, and you can see the graveyard on the side of the church.
Thank you. Do you know when the service would be?
She says, well, he was very well respected, so I'd like to make sure that everyone knew it was happening. So I'd probably say 2 or 3 days.
Okay. I'll let people know in the town. Okay. And when I'm around, I know that I'm with the work crew during the day. And I'll see what I can do.
And you got your shield out? Or where's your shield? On your back?
Probably on my back, yeah.
You got any Hell Knight insignia facing her?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. Then she just nods and says thank you. And she gestures for her sons to take the corpse from you. You good?
Yeah.
All right. So they take the corpse. They're going to do a thing. And, okay. That's it. So, anything else you want to say to her before she leaves?
No, just, he's literally very sorry that it happened. I worked with the man. He was a hothead, but he wasn't a bad man, and it's terrible that this happened.
Yep, she agrees with you. He's well known in town for being a hothead, for having a short temper. He's bombastic, but he's also aggressive, especially when he's been drinking. And that's it. All right. So you guys good?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, the day's going to happen as normal, unless you guys want to do anything else special for the day.
I'd like to go to the Ash House at some point and talk to Razalago.
Okay.
I'd like to go get some fancy arrows.
Okay. So, Chris, go ahead and type what you want. Do you know the kind of arrows you want, or do you need help with that?
Does Boris know the kind of arrows he wants?
That's a good question.
I can't remember whether I know enough about, or does anybody in the party know enough about werebores to know what sorts of weapons we should have against these sorts of creatures?
Nero made a knowledge check when he saw it, and he used his. Did you use your trance thing? I guess you were in combat. You might not have done it.
I didn't trance, no.
Oh, but I think you rolled well enough to know what werebores are about. It's silver. Werebores are silver.
That's why I was asking if Nero was lying when he says if he hadn't seen it, he wouldn't have believed it.
No, he wasn't. I read about it, but no, yeah.
Yeah. They're still rare. Even if you know about them, yeah, they're still rare.
All right, I'm going to go get... how much does a silver dagger cost, and can I get that sort of thing at Longacre? And silver-tipped arrows?
Let me check that out. It's hard. You don't think you can find a silver weapon. That's a little expensive, but there is silver sheen at a local alchemist, which is basically a thing you can cover a weapon with, and then for a short time, it is silver.
Okay, I'm gonna go buy some of that stuff.
How much is silver sheen?
Wait. In all seriousness, is it possible that Boozle Bob's Ironworks could make silver weapons?
If you had silver,
Can we buy silver?
you can buy bars of
With
silver.
gold.
With gold. You can melt coins of silver if you like.
I mean, I have a
Which is
level
like-
of craft if you want to try it.
Yeah, he actually put a rank into it if you want to try to make silvered weapons.
Nice.
Try that instead.
Sure. That sounds like fun. Yes, we're gonna do that.
All right, so
We're gonna see what kind of magic he can weave.
All right, so Boozlebot, you and Vors decide to go to your
Vors.
ironworks for the day and spend the day trying to make a silver dagger to fight
And arrowheads.
and arrowheads. Yeah, okay. So I think you can make one in the day. I'll have to check the thing, but I think you can. It's gonna take like 8 hours of work basically to make the dagger. I'm pretty sure if you want to do that. first.
Can we get one of my other workers to try the other one?
I mean, I guess you want to trust one of your stupid workers with silver, with a silver weapon.
Yeah, I can intimidate him.
Okay.
You know, they work for you. You can just have them do it because
You pay the money, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'll look up what silver or Nas. Can you look up what silver weapons cost and stuff like that? And we'll just figure that
Sure,
out.
yeah.
And Mike, go ahead and
masterwork thing.
click yourself and hit the craft button. We'll see how badly you do. You got a 12. That's not great. You didn't make much progress, but you might not have destroyed things. You might not have wasted materials. Take a look at that in a little bit.
What is why is there an 8 prior to the 12?
Because you put it in the second slot for some stupid reason.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Iwin's doing her nursing home thing. Vors and Boozlebob are trying to craft stuff, and they're talking about arrowheads and daggers. And what was Nero doing today, sorry?
Nero wanted to check in with Razalago.
Okay. What do you want to say? You want to roleplay it or just hand wave it?
I mean, however you want to do it. He basically would want to. It's so ammunition is plus 2 gold pieces a piece. A light weapon's plus 20 gold pieces to the price, so it's
Okay.
cheap as shit.
Okay, so you can do it, yeah.
So basically, he wants to bring up with Razalago that the doctor basically was strong armed into holding on to a crate, and like any loyal citizen would, she came to us with the information. When we asked her, she came clean about the whole thing, and I think we can use this to catch rebels in our midst.
Razalago nods, and he's in his baby fly form with his tiny little baby arms, and insect mouth parts coming out of his baby mouth. And he says, yes, I believe you can use her that way. And he kind of like touches his face with his tiny little hands, and he says, you're smarter than the others, aren't you?
I think we all have our strengths.
He switches into Infernal and continues, how much do you know? I don't know why Siri thought I was talking to it, sorry.
How much
Like how much
depends
do you
on what you're asking about, but quite a bit.
Are you
Usually,
answering in Infernal or Common?
yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's impressed, and he says, "Yes, you understand how to use people. You understand how to bend their minds." And he looks rather pleased with the little plan you've concocted for using the doctor as a pawn. And he says, "Let me know what comes of this plan. Let me know if you catch any of these rebels."
She's I'll do my best to capture them alive if possible. Pass the word along how cooperative she was to the Archbaron, if you would. If anyone in this town deserves dispensation, if anyone's work in this town is noble, it's probably her.
And he nods and he says, there are a lot of brave people that she takes care of, a lot of people that have served, and he seems kind of he's actually honoring that one thing. Of all the things he's ever talked to, he's kind of lackadaisical and laughing at most things, but this seems like something he actually cares about, that, yeah, he will do this for you.
Thank you.
All right, and he vanishes. And
Peace.
yeah. All right. So the rest of the day passes without incident. So I'm pretty sure you failed your craft check. Let me double check it though. A simple weapon is a 12, so you would have made that. But does making it silver make it cost more? To make the check harder is my question.
I looked up like
Find the item's price in silver pieces.
a masterwork
so
one.
A dagger
is
is what?
Oh,
gold.
masterwork is more. You're right. Okay, so already you've already failed. So you didn't fail.
It's not masterwork though. It's just plus 20. You don't have to masterwork it for silver.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay. And so you were not trying to make a masterwork dagger? Is that what we're saying? We're going to retcon that? You're trying to make a shitty dagger? Boozlebot?
I mean, it's up to Chris what we're trying to make.
Do you want to make a nice dagger, like a 300 gold dagger? Or do you want to make just a cheap shard of silver?
Do I have to spend the 300 gold if he makes it? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, you have to spend the money. You have to buy the materials. You're basically buying the silver.
Oh, I just
But
want
you
that.
get
Like,
it for half price. You get it for 150 instead of 300 if you have him make it.
I'm just gonna get some silver sheen after like looking at this.
Okay. So Boozlebob makes a really
Right.
shitty... It's functionally a dagger, though. It is a functional silver dagger. It's just not very good. It's just a regular
Silver
dagger.
shank.
But you've created one, Boozlebob.
Hooray!
All right.
Boozlebob shakes his hands in Vor's face and says, "Magic."
So whoever wants the silver dagger, put it on your sheet, please. Because if it's on your sheet, you don't have it. And that's it. So the rest of the day passes without incident. You guys make your weapon. Iwen does her duties at the hospice. Nero talks to Rosalago and does, I guess you get out to the laborers later in the day. And that's pretty much it.
I went to the alchemist to get like some of that silver sheen stuff.
Oh, correct. Yeah, we can just say you did that. I don't know exactly how much it costs. Mouse, can you look up how much silver sheen costs?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks. And while that's happening, you guys sleep at the jail again, or are you going to sleep in your normal places?
Jail is my normal place now.
Getting no silver sheen.
How much is silver sheen? Is it too much?
250 gold.
Oof.
I got
Jeez.
that.
I thought that was cheap, but it's not. Damn. If you want to spend 250 gold, write it in the chat. Just say like I buy silver sheen, and I'll.
Wait,
sure I'll take a
like
note.
how many charges does that give me? Like, how does it work?
That's a good question. I have a button for this, actually, right? Do I have it under generic? Under global?
It's
Yes.
A vial coats a single melee weapon for an hour or 20 units of ammunition.
For how?
So
for an
literally, you could make, for the price of that, you could make 125 arrowheads.
hour? Silver arrowheads?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's cheaper to
assuming
make.
assuming that we had a craftsman capable of making.
Alright. Absolutely no need for that.
The craft check is really low if it's only like two gold a piece, so it's very easy to make arrowheads.
All right, but the day's over, so I'm not
Yeah.
gonna buy the silver sheen because that's really expensive.
Yep. Sorry, I did not know it was that expensive. I thought it'd be
I
cheaper.
didn't either.
Surprising. All right. So yeah. So that happens, and you guys are sleeping. Boozlebob sleeps in the jail. Vor sleeps in the jail. Iwen and Nero, you sleep at the jail, or do you want to sleep at the Ash House and your house, respectively?
Is Simri still sleeping at the Ash House as well?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where's
she's sleeping
Simri?
in that lobby. Yeah, Simri's around.
Then, as long as it's okay with Nero, I would probably take him up on the offer for the bed that he's got there at the house.
Sure.
Okay. So you two sleep there, and Boozlebob and Vor sleep here, and the night passes without incident.
Gonna get up real early. My mama gonna get us up.
All right. The next day, things also go kind of normally. Boozlebob and Vors, what do you do? Are you getting chilly today, Boozlebob?
Boozlebob is staring inside of the jail cell at the bent bars and saying magic. That's how he wakes up. Yeah, I guess we'll go get chili. Why not? You always get chili.
Okay. Vors, are you going with them, or are you doing something different today?
I'll go with him.
Okay. So you go to your normal chili stuff. Boozle Bob, how many chilies and beers do you want?
1 chili and 6 beers.
Okay. Right, yeah. So again, she's disgusted with you basically, and she just kind of rolls her eyes, but she still serves you, and
I'll take a coffee.
okay, yeah, she'll get you a coffee. And Vors, one of Fex's guards, so he's got a sash similar to yours. One of his personal guards comes up to you. I guess he's noticed that you've stayed here. You've come here a bunch in the morning, and he says, "Vors, I need to talk with you."
Okay.
And he looks at the others. He looks at the barmaids, and he kind of like gestures with his eyes that they should leave, and they do so. And then he explains to you that the castle gate is open.
It is.
And he says,
Why is it open?
It's not supposed to be, by decree of the Archbaron. You closed it yourselves. It's open.
We
again.
did.
And
Who
he seems
who
out
opened
of
it?
sorts about it.
Sorry, did you ask anybody about it? Like, are the people coming and going?
He says, yes, I've seen several people travel through the gate.
This does not bode well.
He says, I
Good.
came to you first. I tried to find Nero. I could not find him, but I knew you'd be here.
All right. Go to the Archbaron. Tell him what you saw, and tell him that the time is upon us. So no, tell him that the people he knows about that Rosalago should have informed him of are moving. Today's the day. Really.
Okay.
I'll go look. I'll go inspect the castle gate.
He nods and he goes to tell the Archbaron.
Okay.
All right. And you want to do anything else? Nero, you asked the question. The answer is yes. And Boozle Bob, are you doing anything else with the barmaid and the breakfast? Or are you just being civil again?
Yeah, I'm just being civil right now. Can I spend the rest of the day trying to craft arrowheads out of iron?
Iron?
Yeah.
I turn to Bob and I say, Bob, we need to go. We need to go check this out now. I was like, there's squishies. Bob, there might be squishies.
Bob says trouble, and then reluctantly goes with you.
Okay.
Okay. Are you going to get everybody else, or you're just going to go to the gate with Bob?
I'm gonna go find Nero.
Okay. So you find Nero.
Why am I still fatigued?
You're not. I'll fix
Mr.
it.
GM. Thank you. So yeah, we go find.
And do you guys want to get Iwen too, or are you going to let Iwen do her day?
Iwan's over at the hospice?
Yeah, she's always there. That's what she's been doing.
All right. Well, yeah, it's probably dangerous over there. We should leave her there. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's get it. Let's get Iwan.
Yeah.
Damn it, Nas! Let them split the party. The newbies need to learn, Nas. They need to learn it. You can't just be told not to split the party.
We had a lesson last time.
All right. Yeah. So you go get Iwan, and Iwan, presumably you would leave when they summoned you.
Yeah, she'd probably apologize to the doctor, but sort of say, we gotta deal with whatever situation this is. I'll be back.
She understands, and she's just grateful that you show up at all, and for all the things you've done for her. So she's totally okay with you leaving.
Joe?
Yes, sir.
On the way to the gate, Nero will try to find someone he knows and that can get a message out. And he scribbles down on a piece of paper. He scribbles a note to the hobgoblin, and he basically says, grabs one of the work crew or somebody from the street or one of the guards and puts the note in his hand and says, the guy that came here a couple of days ago, the orange skin, loud, boisterous.
He nods.
Find him, give him this. tell him I'm looking for him. That I'll meet him at the jail as soon as I can.
Okay. What's the note say? You can type it or whatever
The
you want
note,
to do.
the note just says, I need you, little mouse.
Okay, got it. All right. Yeah. So that guy's. Oh god, someone's playing Civilization 6 already. How is that possible? You bastard. Anyway. Son of a bitch! Alright, yeah, so you send that note off, and that's fine. We'll see what happens with that. And you didn't... So it doesn't say to meet anywhere, it just says that you're looking for him. Okay, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, just basically,
meet at the jail.
I'll meet him at the jail, but yeah, I'll meet him later.
Okay, sure. I will make that happen. And you guys are going to the gate, so you get there, and let's see what I can read for you, if anything. Let's see. So you guys approach the gate here, and you can see a rickety wooden door leads inside the castle gate's stone tower. That's over here. It doesn't have a lock. And earlier, you guys might remember, you came here to remove the old gate guards, Bo and Dent. I think Garamel is their name. So what would you like to do? And this is the main gate, and it's open. It's basically there's a... I get muted when I touch the thing. That's great. So that door is wide open, and there's like a portcullis you kind of have to drag back down.
And the gate guards are gone?
You do not see anybody right now. There's nobody looking over the edge of the thing. This door is closed.
Is the door locked?
There's no lock on it. It's just a regular wooden door.
How tall is the portcullis?
Sorry?
How tall is the portcullis?
I don't know. We'll say 8 feet. Not super
Bob,
tall.
you think you can get that down?
Bob takes a stance like he's gonna cast a spell, and then kind of just pushes his hands forward at the door, saying the unlearned prayer that you taught him.
Maybe. We might need to. I'll tell you though.
Yeah. At which point I say, Bob, like the bars. Remember the bars?
Yeah, Bob remembers
can
the
toss me a
bar.
perception check too. Sorry, good.
Wait, should you all do?
Yeah, you can all throw up me a perception check.
Oh, I have to click myself first. That's right.
Always. Yeah, Vors and Iwen, you both notice that there, in addition to, like, you can just pull it down, but you notice there is, like, chains and some sort of pulley mechanism that leads into the room that has the door.
All right.
Boozle Bob will get through the door.
Okay.
Because it is unlocked.
You go to move the door, and though it is unlocked, it is stuck. There's something behind it.
Okay. So what do you want? Like a 20?
D-roll D20 if you want to strength check it.
Bob, when we get in there, just these.
What are you pointing to? Should I be looking at the video?
He put up his fists.
Oh, okay.
So you rolled a 9, and you have a +5 to your strength. Yeah, so you shove the door, and you feel it give a little, but it doesn't give all the way. How does Boozlebob feel about that? The door's beating you.
Boozlebob's getting angry. Boozlebob would like to, can I take a running start?
Heck yeah, you can. Roll it again. Roll
Put it on
another
my
20.
weight.
So Nero will try to wedge something in the door to help creep it open
Sure.
for him too.
Yeah, with Nero's help and your running start, yeah, you slam into it, and a bunch of boxes that were up against the door fall over, and the door flings open. And Boozlebob is inside. The single room inside the tower's base is drafty. The interior of the tower is completely open between the stone floor and the flat wooden roof 20 feet overhead. And there's a well-used ladder that leads upwards.
Boozlebob shakes the ladder.
The ladder appears sturdy.
Does anybody fall off of the ladder?
No.
Okay. Does anybody make a noise up the ladder?
No.
Okay. Boozlebob yells cold.
Yeah. Can we
Nero
like?
basically comes in, says, "Everyone gather around."
Can we also like kind of look around to see if there's anything that got dropped or like basically if anybody who was in here left a trace of anything?
Sure, make a perception check. And what are you saying, Nero? Tell everybody to get around for some reason.
Everyone gather around. Before we head up the ladder, he's going to pray a blessing on them. But
Everybody else
That
can
was
make
a
a perception check too if you want.
That was a sense motive about what cold meant.
Oh, that's yeah. So you figured it out. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Oh, so the room was described as drafty, but nobody else was in the room.
Oh.
Boozlebob's literally cold.
It is drafty. Yeah. All right. So, what would you guys like to do?
So we see nothing.
Yeah, none of you notice anything out of the ordinary, other than the boxes were stacked and now they're knocked over. None of you notice anything else.
Did anything spill
Did any
out
of the
those
boxes open?
Yeah, you can say they're open. They don't have anything nefarious or there's no weapons or anything like that. I don't know what's in them exactly, but just random supplies.
Bob, do you want to go up first?
Yeah. Yeah, Bob grunts.
Wait,
That was Bob Brave. Yeah.
Bob Brave, yeah. So Bob says magic and then goes first.
Nero puts his hands up and makes a gesture, and you all feel more confident as he casts Bless.
Boozlebob starts poorly saying your prayer. Again. You're just gonna keep saying it wrong until you fix it.
How many do you heal Boozlebob for, Naz? What is it?
I mean, I would assume that I would have healed him up yesterday.
Oh, okay, fine. Alright. Alright, so Boozlebob, make a climb check. You're going up a ladder. It's real easy.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Did you ever turn off rage, dude?
That's a good question. Hold on.
Well, turn it off and resync. I'll use that roll anyway. It's fine. Yeah, you easily get up the ladder.
I did not.
I mean, you're going to turn it on again later, but...
Yeah, turn it off and resync and make sure your hit points are right. You might have to heal yourself to get rid of the extra ones. But yeah, so you're climbing up normal. You're about halfway up when the trapdoor on the top opens up and a chest gets thrown out of the top and slides down towards you. Make a reflex save.
Hold on, I gotta think real quick. Give it a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it taking so long to sync?
I don't know. Probably because the website sucks and is slow.
Okay, there you go. Took 28 seconds.
Yeah, so you get hit in the face. So the chest actually catches you in the face, and you only take 1 damage from it because it wasn't like a weapon. Barely even looks like you. Oh, there you go. Now you take 1. There you go. Because I had to take away your 10 hit points first. So there you go. So you take 1 damage from that, and you actually fall, and you take 2d6 damage. Bonk, bonk. Oops, I should roll those publicly. Bonk, bonk. There you go. So Boozlebob, you take 8 damage from the fall, and the chest lands on you for another 4. And the trapdoor slams shut again at the top of the stairs. And now I'll roll
What's in the
initiative.
chest? No.
you want to see what's in the chest before we get into initiative?
Yeah.
You gonna throw it open? Okay. There is a masterwork light crossbow and a bag, a well-made felt bag.
Is there anything in the bag?
Are you gonna open it and look?
What's in the fucking bag?
6 flasks of alchemist fire and a thunderstone. But when Vors reaches in to get it, it feels strange. It feels like there's much more space in the bag than you would think, looking inside of it.
Like enough to fit a halfling?
You could fit a halfling in there, you would imagine. Like you stick your arm in and you can go like this inside of the bag. And
Can we
inside,
knowledge
Put it in your
that?
pocket.
yeah, you can knowledge check that.
Boozlebee's got wicked smart, so...
Put it in your pocket. We'll deal with it after.
Wait, can we put Boozle Bob in the bag and then throw it up?
Maybe. You suffocate in it. There's no air. That's for the record. So enjoy.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a magic bag.
What if we don't like tie the bag? What if we leave it open on one end?
Keep your head poking out.
Yeah, it can't just be like a vacuum, right?
Magic, son.
Magic. Yeah, none of you have heard of one of these. I'm astounded. Do you want to trance out, Nero?
No, I'll just detect magic on it later. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, none of you have any idea what this is, but you've heard there probably are magic bags in the world. That would make sense to you. Anyway, Boozle Bob, you're prone on the ground. You just fell down. There's a chest on your stomach. Let's just say you stood up. What do you want to do?
Boozle Bob's pissed.
Bob, come here. Let me fix you.
All right, Bob is gonna let Nero fix him.
Okay, so you're gonna delay.
Yeah.
All right, Nero.
Nero will heal Bob.
All right.
And say, up we go.
Go ahead and roll it. I'll heal him. And Boozle Bob. What are you going to do with your turn after he's done healing you?
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna.
Ugh.
All right, I'm gonna go up again, I guess.
Okay. Make another climb check.
God damn it.
I think with a ladder, even a 6 is good enough. I'm going to just say it's good enough. So you actually make slow progress going up. And then toss me a perception check as well, buddy. Yeah, so you get to the top, and you didn't notice something, and the top rungs of the ladder were actually weakened. So go ahead and make another reflex save. You failed to grab onto anything, and you fall, taking 5 falling damage. And you're prone on the ground.
Boozle Bob is laying on his back screaming.
I win.
Somebody potion him.
Ivan would, since there's been a lot of noise that's been made, kind of poke back outside and just scan the field to see if, like, anybody is stirring or coming towards the tower.
You're asking if you see anybody coming towards the tower?
Yeah, like, basically, she's suspecting that this was a trap, and since there's been a lot of noise, she's making sure that nobody's, like, coming at the...
No, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. There's a couple of small homes nearby, but nothing. No one's charging over or anything like that.
Okay. Well, then let me finish out her move. She'd start moving towards the gate. She's gonna peek out there as well.
Sure. Okay.
She can't make it yet, but she will.
That's fine. And Vors, what would you like to do?
I turn to Nero and I ask him why we shouldn't just burn this place down.
It's made of stone.
You said the top was like the
roof is wooden. Yeah.
Platform is wood.
Yes, that is accurate.
Okay. So why can't we burn that? And there's lots of boxes. Like, I mean, Nero, we could easily say that when they threw the chest down on us, one of the flasks of alchemist fire burst and started the fire.
My main issue is that corpses won't tell us what happened.
Well, Bob's gonna be a corpse if he tries to go up that ladder again.
I'll get him all set. I'll get him set.
The top of the ladder is broken away now. You'll actually have to it's actually precarious now at the top. It's not like it actually broke away the rungs.
And I asked Nero, I was like, do you really think that if we smoke these rats out that they're not gonna jump down, or they're just gonna sit there and happily burn to death?
You make a good point. And enough smoke, they'd probably head for the windows themselves.
All right. So
Bob has torches.
Yeah, what is alchemist fire? I'm a nub.
It's basically
an explosive. It's a grenade. It's like a firebomb.
All right. Well, I'd rather use a torch than.
Well, I mean, but you could throw. I mean, it's fitting. But I mean, yeah, I guess you could just use a torch if you want to. It definitely starts faster if you threw one.
I'd rather not burn the gate down. Let's see if we can start something small, make a lot of smoke. Is there stuff that would be wet? Like I could make stuff wet.
Bob had 6 beers. Bob, pee on the stuff.
Yeah, you
Bob,
gonna pee on some boxes?
Yeah. Bob nods and says, "Yes, must."
All right, so Bob pees on some boxes, and you're going to burn them on the ground floor of the stone structure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neural will hear up BB again.
Okay, sure. All right, so we'll just say that took a round to do. And Boozle Bob, you're standing up. You're not prone anymore. And as the smoke starts to fill up the room, are you guys going to stay in the room, or what are you guys going to do?
No, I imagine we go out.
Okay.
Just watch.
I draw my bow.
As the fire gets a little bigger, everybody make a perception check. And Iwin, are you going to hang out outside still, or are you going to be back looking inside the door?
Well, she was already on her way over here, so let's say no. She's still moving towards the gate.
Okay. I want to roll a stealthy check. Yeah, so none of you see anything, but you hear something saying in a tiny voice, "No, no, no!"
Boozlebob laughs.
If you get down now, it's not out of control yet.
Even with a 19, Nero didn't... What?
No, he's probably real stealthy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just getting used to numbers.
And yeah, so none of you notice, but you hear some shuffling around in the room.
It's not out of control yet. You could still come down.
He has not responded to you. And again, you hear shuffling in the room. None of you have seen anything, but you hear shuffling in the room.
Okay, so Nero will step into the room, see what he can see.
Yeah, you see a tiny cat-like fey creature kicking sand onto the fire, trying to put it out.
Do I know what that is?
You can hover over it to see a picture of it and go ahead and make a knowledge check. You do know what that is, and I need to look up what it's actually called. It's called an Avenik, and I will tell you more about it. You know a great deal, because you made a good knowledge check. And covered in sleek black fur, this vaguely feline humanoid holds flickering flames in its clawed hands. So it's got tiny little clawed hands with fire in it, and he's trying to kick sand onto the fire you put out. And with your knowledge check, you know a bunch about them. They are fey, which are like fairies and creatures like that. They are chaotic neutral. They have dark vision. You know that they have damage reduction unless you have cold iron weapons, but it's fairly weak because they're so small. They're resistant to fire damage, and they can do some kinds of fire magic, very weak kinds of fire magic.
So Nero will start doing the same, like kicking out and stomping out the fire.
Okay, so you do that. Oh, another thing you noticed, you remembered, this is a special ability I forgot about. Whenever it hits with one of its claws, or if it touches somebody, it can bestow a weal or a woe upon them, like luck or unluck upon them with its attacks. So you start doing that. What is everybody else doing?
Does Boozlebob see this fey?
Make a perception check. It's kind of out in the open now, but let's see if you're super blind. Yeah, you see it now. You see that Nero is looking at him and kind of mimicking his actions.
Okay, so Boozlebob sees a cat with fire palms.
Yes.
Okay, so Boozlebob's gonna grab the boot flail.
Okay.
And, just kind of get ready to beat something up if he has to.
You can draw it, move, and attack. You can do all those things.
Yeah, but I'm not going to attack this thing yet.
Okay.
Did you open the gate?
And he nods, but he's still doing his thing. Like, stupid human, stop showing up. Have to open gate myself.
You could have come to me. I would have helped you. Let's put this fire out and we'll talk about it.
And he says, Snivy don't need humans no more. Snivy can open the gate. And he's basically almost done putting out his fire. And now you know his name is Snivy.
Boozlebob says humans no need Snivy.
Okay, so
And then Vors reminds Bob that he's only half human.
all right. So let's say that was Nero and Boozle Bob's turn. So Iwan, what are you doing?
Well, she was headed towards the gate, but I think once she saw smoke coming out the windows of the tower, and like just general commotion in it, she would start moving back towards it to see what the deal was. Can I do a knowledge check to see if she knows what this thing is?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you know almost as much as Nero. So everything I told him is true, and
Do I know if they're typically aggressive?
they're not always aggressive, but they're troublesome. They're troublemakers. They're kind of chaotic. They like to play pranks and things like that. And their unluck touch is like known throughout the land. So basically, like they can make people unlucky, and it's not good.
Okay. Well, I think I would just kind of see Nero interacting with it and just like watch basically for at least for a little bit.
All right. And Vors, what would you like to do?
Vors gets nervous about smoke coming out of the tower and attracting the attention of other people. So he draws his bow and comes out here.
Okay. All right, Nero. So you're kind of you've put out the fire with the little thing, and it looks up at you, and it's speaking in common, and in between its words, it's barking like a dog. Despite looking like a cat, it barks like a dog, and it's like kind of just yipping like a little chihuahua in between its phrases and words.
What humans were coming to you, Snivy?
He says the old ones. They came here all the time.
Ah, the people who manned the gate.
Yes.
The dwarves?
They weren't dwarves. They were humans. They were two dudes. If they looked like dwarves, I'm sorry, but they were normal humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, did you need to get into the town?
He says, I've always been here.
Did they leave you here?
I was here before them.
Ah. Can you give me a reading?
He says, what would you like to know and from whom?
There's a lot of things going on in town. I could make your stay here very pleasant. I would make it so no one could bother you.
Okay, make a diplomacy check, Mr. Smoozer.
You know, might
Face
as well.
of the party over here.
Fine.
You didn't do too great, so he's a little skeptical of you, and he basically asks you like, how comfortable? What are you talking?
What do you want? Do you want to just stay in the gate? If the gate stays closed, I can get you most anything you want.
He shakes his head and says, No. The gate has to be open.
Why does the gate have to be open?
Because that's what a gate is. That is the function of the gate. And Nero,
This gate-
you would know that these Fae, they exist to serve a purpose. Like, that's what they do.
So if this wasn't a gate anymore, it would stay closed.
He looks confused and says, Yes?
All right. Was it you up there with the chest?
He cackles and says, Yes?
It was a good trick. It was a good trick. You scared us. We thought you were people come to fight.
Yeah, and he claps his hands a little. It was a good trick.
Bob, do you think you could weld this gate closed? Do you think you could work the iron so that the gate couldn't open?
He seems angry when you ask about this. He says, No, the gate has to open. No! My gate!
Bob says yes and chuckles and says, "This is my prank." Or prank. He just says prank.
And?
And yeah, I'm going to go try to weld the gate closed.
Okay.
I mean, it's
You don't have tools. You have to pull it
That's
down.
fine.
first.
it's fine. He won't hit it with something.
Okay, so...
Why?
Good.
So I would kind of step in and be like, why is it so important to you that the gate's open?
And he shakes his head. He says, It's my gate. Gates are supposed to be open. That's what gates are for.
Could I, if I told you, if I gave you a position of power at the other gate, would that be okay?
Talking
If
to
we
the
clo-
diplomacy
if-
check. That's interesting. No, he says this is my gate. I've been here for years, decades.
But the gates at the north and the south of town, they open, they close, people pass through. There won't be any trouble.
He shakes his head. It's not the same, not the same. And you also know that those are like smaller wooden towers, and this is an actual stone like gate. This is a real deal.
Sure,
thing.
of course. I'm trying.
I know you're trying, but well, you didn't do good enough to talk him into that
Yeah.
deal. This is his
I
gate.
figured not.
So Ivan will kind of chime in and be like, I'm really confused. If gates are always supposed to be open, then why even have the gate?
He shakes
Why-
his head.
why
Not,
wouldn't-
not always. I open the gate in the morning, I close it at night. That's what a gate is. That's what gates do.
How long have you been here? How long has this been your gate?
I said decades earlier, but it's actually been centuries now that I'm looking at his entry. He's been here for hundreds of years, so we're claiming to be.
In Longacre, specifically?
In this tower specifically.
Oh.
Did the other two know you?
He shakes his head.
So you stayed hidden.
Yes.
Do you know where they went?
He shakes his head. They haven't been here in a week?
If I promised to come by and meet with you every day, could we open the gate and close it in the morning? Just to make sure it's still working?
He doesn't seem happy with that. He wants the gate to be open. This gate, like that's his job. He's like a house spirit, and this is his place he's inhabiting, and
No,
this
I
is the
figured.
thing that has to happen every day. And when the humans were doing it, it was cool, but now that they're not, he has to do it because that's his reason for existing in this place. So he
What if
shakes
I
his head
stayed
again.
in the? What if I stayed here? And I opened and closed the gate. Would that be acceptable?
He nods. He nods his head like yeah.
All right. Well, I have to lead a work crew while I'm away. Can we keep the gate closed for now?
Make another diplomacy check. One more. You can do it.
Sure.
I believe in you.
Nope.
No. Yeah. No. So he says no. And he doesn't like you. He's kind of getting the feeling that maybe you're trying to scam him here. He's just like I can handle it. I don't need people. I don't need humans anymore.
Boozle Bob's gonna come back angry because you forgot that he doesn't have tools.
Yeah, you don't have any tools, so you went over there, and again, it's still up. You guys didn't get it down yet, and it's 8 feet up, so you'd have to like jump and pull it down if you wanted to, because you haven't found the pulley thing yet. It's upstairs.
Boozle Bob says we're gonna stay here.
Okay. Yeah, you have successfully intimidated it. It's not super anti-intimidating.
I asked Nero, can we get one of the guys in your crew to just stand watch? Like, set them up with shifts, just pay him some gold every day.
I suppose. If he'll let him close the gate when it needs to be closed.
So
Meeting always.
Ivan will start getting kind of frustrated and be like, I'm tired of dealing with this fool. We don't need this gate shut. Let's just stack up enough boxes to block off the entrance. It'll serve the same purpose. He can open and close it all he wants.
It's a fair point. That's a fair point.
And
I'll bring a brick. When we're outside, Nero will say, "I'll bring a brick crew." We shouldn't. He's useful if we can convince him that we're on his side. If I recall correctly, if I'm recalling this is the correct spirit, they have very powerful ability to tell the future. I could be wrong. I have to do more research to be sure, but and basically Nero will, before we leave, ask him if there's anything he needs in the tower. Food.
And he shakes his head. I have everything I need.
Boozle Bob wants to ask Snivy magic. He just says magic.
Where's my sense motive? He looks at you. He twists his head. He holds his hands. Magic, and he has flames dancing in his hands.
Yes. Yeah. So Boozlebob looks at his own hands and says, "Magic."
He mockingly shoots a little ball of fire into your hand.
Boozlebob laughs and claps his hands.
So as this is going on, Iwan takes out a piece of paper from her backpack and a pen and starts writing out of order on the piece of paper, and then moves over to the gate and basically just posts it to like the wall just outside the gate.
Okay.
Probably on both sides, actually. So she'd do it two pieces of paper.
Okay. And Nero just gonna come back with bricklayers or something and just like board it up somehow?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Alright, well, are you gonna do anything else with the Fae for now? Or are you gonna let him disappear again?
I think Nero will just probably pay him a visit, come with things that Faye like.
Okay.
Try to ingratiate.
Okay. So he disappears. He actually turns invisible and then disappears. And,
Can I come back and visit?
Oh, he says, fine with me. And
I'll bring something sweet next time I come.
Ah, he's happy with that. He likes sweet stuff. Alright, you guys want to do anything else at the gate now?
Climb up, if we can.
You gonna try?
I guess.
Alright, so let's say it's Vorz's turn. So you're gonna be the one to try? Okay, go make a climb check. Yeah, you do well, and it's a little, again, it's harder at the top because there's some rungs that have been cut out. But you get to the top, and there's a trap door. Do you want to push it open?
Yeah.
Okay. You get to the top, and you see the pulley mechanism and everything like that. And Snivvy's up there, and when you pop open the door, he turns around, and his eyes are just glowing red. And he's furious that you're up here. And what would you like to do? Let's say you have an action. So you get to the top, and he's up there, and you can tell, and he's growling like a dog now.
I say, sorry, Snivy. I just wanted to see what was up here. And then I go back down.
Okay. That is Snivvy's house. All right, yeah, so you pop back down. You guys want to do anything else here at the gate?
I want to roll a perception check to see what was up there.
Sure. Okay. You look around, and you do see there's like a pulley mechanism that would lower the portcullis really easily. And there's a small chair that's kind of on a raised platform. And you didn't get a good look over the walls, but you think it'd give a pretty good overview of Longacre. This is a 20-foot high position over a small town. You think you could probably see most of the town from this tower.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Anybody doing anything else? All right.
And I tell everybody, don't go up there. Snivy's mad.
Snivy does not like visitors. All right. So the rest of the day passes basically without event. What would you guys do after that, though?
I mean, aside from blocking up the gate so people can't get through, probably he'd look to get something sweet, work with the work crew, and just be passing along the news about Bolgert passing.
Okay.
Is this the night that we expect those people to come back?
No, that would be tomorrow night.
Okay.
Correct. So did you guys want to do anything else?
Probably
different,
check in at the
Okay. You want to do anything special?
Nero will check in at the hospital. Yeah.
For what? Anything in particular?
Just check in and help out if he can, maybe dinner time or something.
Sure. Yeah, she's very happy for any help you could offer at all. She accepts. And if you ask about any updates, she doesn't have any. No one's visited. She seems very frank and direct with you. She doesn't appear to be hiding anything. You don't even need to make a sense motive check. And that's pretty much it.
We can say that while when Nero comes in and when Iwan notices him there, she starts like kind of bringing him around and telling him some people to talk to and like encouraging them to tell their usual stories. Like, oh, tell them the one about, when you like burned that guy or whatever, like she's all like excited about their stories and getting them kind of mixed up with him.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, you do that, and they're all more than willing to retell the same story they told you 2 days ago. All of them are more than willing to do that. And if Nero is a willing ear, he hears as many stories as he'll let them tell.
Anyone that's famous at all and just really old?
There's a couple of notable soldiers. Are you interested in any? Like, there's a couple of war mages. There's a bunch of just martial soldiers. There are no Hell Knights in there.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So let's see. And you said you wanted to look for the hobgoblin or something. You said that in the thing. So he'll show up at the jail. Your message got to him. And what are you?
And he basically lets him know that I've got a night thing going on. It'll involve that we'll have to sort of take people quietly, but I thought you might be up for some rough work.
Yeah. He's my little mouse. You've got a job for me.
It's not a great job. It's probably going to be plunder only, but I know you like to plunder just as much as I do.
Yeah, he gestures. Thumping skulls?
Probably, yes.
Thumping skulls! And he's in.
All right. So, I don't know. Is there anyone else that we would think we could trust in terms of the guards, or we think that people might be in on it?
In on it? In on what exactly?
In on whatever's going on.
Most of the guards you see around town these days are like Fex's personal guards, like the ones wearing sashes, kind of like you.
Okay.
And you would assume they wouldn't be on it, but anything's possible.
Sure.
So if you're talking about them, you trust most of them. I'd let you know if
Okay.
anything weird happened.
Okay.
Okay.
So he'd enlist a couple and the hobgoblin if possible for thumping skulls later on.
Yeah. All right. So Hobgoblin Fighter 3 over here, and I'll name him Zagar of Ultra Crag.
Oh man.
All right. So he shows up, and that's pretty much it. Anybody else doing anything special for the day?
Do we want to move the cart full of like explosives or combustibles closer to the church?
Oh, those are gone now. The person who had them there has moved them.
Oh, bummer.
You fool.
You fool. All right. Yeah. So the next day starts, and how much time do we have left? We have about 50 minutes. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Boozlebob, you eating and drinking?
Yeah.
How many chilies? How many beers?
3 chilies, 2 beers.
Okie dokie. The usual. All right. Yeah. So
I'll go get a coffee with Bob.
okay. Yeah, Nero healed you for 7, and you would heal 2 from sleeping, so you're full. All right, so that happens, and
Nero will pay a visit to Snivy with sweets during the day and just try to schmooze him a little bit.
Iwen, while you are walking to the hospice, or let's say you're running an errand for the hospice, they said, "Oh, go to the market and get me this or that." As you're in the market, you hear someone shouting, "Thief! Thief!" And you see a small halfling running towards you.
Does it seem like he is holding something?
Yeah, he has both of his hands kind of clutched to his chest, and you can make a perception check if you like. And he's not running directly at you; he's running in your direction, I should say. Sorry. Yeah, you don't know you don't see what he's holding, but he's running like this with his hands against his chest.
Also, first she would scream for him to stop. I'm assuming he won't.
He's not. Yeah, he's not planning to stop.
Okay. Then let's see. I'll wait to go to. Okay.
Yeah, I'm loading this map for you.
Yeah.
And you see a halfling thief is running towards you, running down this alley, and hasn't paid you any mind. And someone behind him, and it says it's the church square. Just pretend it's some other market square. Yeah, there's a dead Bolgard over there. He's gone.
Pretty good.
Where's
right.
GM 2016?
Yeah, I'm the worst. Yeah, so you see the halfling thief running at you, and we're low initiative, and you get to go first. So he hasn't even noticed you. He's basically like looking over his shoulders and running down this alleyway.
Okay. And this is kind of a funny question, but since I'm a gnome, it kind of matters. Physically, does does he look like somebody that I could potentially like trip or grab, or is he significantly bigger than me?
He is small even for a halfling, and he appears to be very weak. I don't think you're very strong, but he does appear to be very weak.
Okay. Well, then actually, I was just going to step up and try to weaken him even further.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
Why not?
So a touch attack of 12. That is enough to hit him because he's flat-footed. He hasn't acted yet. He's looking over his shoulder, and you catch him with your ray. And he takes -6 to strength. He falls to the ground paralyzed, completely and utterly paralyzed. So he's looking over his shoulder, running towards you, and as your ray hits him, he just falls to the ground forward, like in place.
Presumably, then whatever he was holding comes out, like he loses.
Yeah, I guess you're paralyzed. You think does he have rigor mortis Nas, or with his arms open? What did you say?
I think he's probably. I don't know. I mean, I imagine he has no strength at all. He probably just.
Yeah. So it sprawls out, and you see a couple of necklaces and some rings. He's basically stolen some jewelry. And very quickly after he falls down, a merchant runs up behind him, still shouting, "Thief, thief!" And he sees that the thief is on the ground, and that you were still kind of pointing your finger at him when the merchant came up. And the merchant looks up and says, "Thank you so much."
Sure, yeah, we don't tolerate thievery in this town.
And
Make sure to let everybody else know.
And you got your sash on?
Yes.
Yeah. So he nods and he says, "It's good to see there is still law in this town. Nero is right." And he grabs his necklaces and says, "What are you going to do with the halfling?" And he's talking very derisively about the halfling.
Well, thievery sounds like a penalty that warrants some pillory time, so I think that's where he's going.
Okay. Are you going to take him alone, or are you going to ask for help bringing the halfling?
I think, well, she probably would ask the merchant, assuming the merchant's a bigger, like a human,
Yeah.
a bigger guy.
Yep.
Yeah, she probably like. It might help if you, help me. I'll try to bring him there, but if he wriggles, I don't know that I can hold him down. Can you help me bring him over to the pillories?
Yeah. Yeah, he will do that. So he'll do that, and he also he offers you a small, simple necklace. It's a silver charm of Asmodeus. He doesn't know if you're a worshiper, but in these days, he says, anything helps. Any little bit of luck helps, and he offers you this tiny little silver necklace.
So Iwan would take it and thank him, but not put it on.
Okay.
She'd probably just put it in her pocket.
Okay. He doesn't seem too offended by that, and he helps you. He basically ropes up the hobgoblin, who's struggling now, because only for like 12 seconds was he actually paralyzed, but you had your quick conversation, and the merchant held him while you got some rope. And he's just struggling, and he's very, very weak, but, he's controlled. And we'll just say you drag him to the jail, and I'll take you back.
Quick question,
Yes,
out of character question.
Yes.
Do any of the other guys worship that god?
Asmodeus? He's part of the God Claw.
Yeah, I'd revere it.
Yeah.
Okay. So assuming that Iwan knows that, which I think she probably would, then she would, when she sees Nero, I'm assuming they're back at the jailhouse now, she would basically recount what happened, like, there was this halfling, and I basically dropped him. I dropped that damn halfling. And he was a thief, he stole this stuff. So she would basically also be explaining that they then have to discipline him. And he had this jewelry, it was this merchant's jewelry, and as a token of thanks, he gave me this. I'm not a worshiper, where I stand with those kinds of things, but I know you are. I imagine you probably like this. And so she kind of like reaches out and hands it over to Nero.
Thank you. It's very nice.
So do you agree? Does this guy need some time in the stacks?
I feel like we'd strangle him in the stacks.
You could
But
put up
we
some
can-
stuff under him. You could build a little structure up so he doesn't die. Like it's designed for halflings to be tortured too.
Ooh.
What
do you think? What do you think? We offered work release to the last person.
The halfling looks up at you, and he's extremely frail looking. Even I think you're kind of frail looking, right? He's even more frail looking than you.
When was the last time you ate something?
He shakes his head. He says, "I can't even remember."
Boozlebob flicks his head and says, "Chili."
Yeah, let's get him something to eat. I'll see what's around.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't stolen a pot of chili in a while, so that might be problematic.
Yeah, you don't have any chili here. You have to go get him some food. But Boozy V, give me a fortitude save.
Why?
Because I said
You'll find out if you fail.
Yeah, you'll find out if you fail. Okay. About 20 minutes after you had your breakfast chili, you start to feel really sick. And you take 2 constitution damage.
Ooh.
So you're walking down the street, and I guess Boris is with you because he got his coffee, and you just kind of grab your gut and hunch over in pain. And how would you react to that?
I've got my boot flail in my hand.
So you draw your boot flail, looking for the thing punching you in the stomach, but nothing is nearby. Go ahead and make another fortitude save.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You do not have any stomach pains. Go ahead and make another fortitude save. You have more stomach pains.
Bob starts swinging the flail in front of him.
You lose another 2 constitution. Make another fortitude save. You lose another 1 constitution, so you're down at -5. And also, these is applying a penalty to your saves because they're fort saves. So go ahead and make another fort save. No. Boozle Bob, you take another, so now you're down 6. Make another fort save. Okay, you made it. You don't get sick. Go ahead and make another fort save.
God damn it.
Nope. Take another 1. Now you're down 7. Make another fort save.
Boozle Bob's screaming now.
Okay, you made it. Make another fort save. With all your penalties, you don't make it.
Why don't you add 4 to that with your hero point?
All right, fine. I'll add 4 to that with my hero point.
Okay, so you're only down 2, 4, 6 or 7?
Oh,
7.
Only.
-7 con. So please update your sheet to have -7 temporary constitution and resync. And your stomach pains cease. The invisible thing punching you in the stomach has stopped. But you feel much more frail than you did previously.
So that's in the penalty?
Yeah, in the penalty, you just put like a -7, or I guess you put a regular 7 because I think it minuses it anyway, and then resync, and your hit points will be a lot lower and stuff. All right. So Vors, you just watched him hunch over in pain for like almost a full minute, just like
while swinging a flail at the air.
I say, I'm glad I didn't have the chili.
Boozy B, what would you do about this?
Let's get back to the jail booze. Like Nero will be able to patch you up.
No, we don't. Boozle Bob takes out his big flail.
It's not boot flail, it's big flail. And what?
And Boozle Bob grabs. I mean, I'm not in the bar right now, so I can't actually see what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're still on this map. We didn't actually go to the bar.
Okay, well. So was this happening at the bar, or was this happening in the jail?
This happened 20 minutes later, so you would have walking back. You probably would have made it almost all the way to the jail.
Okay, so we're going back to the bar.
So booze. Let's get Nero and Iwan. Like they'll be able to help us.
Boozle Bob punches your head softly and says, "Nero."
Right. So
I make a little heart. I make a little heart gesture to.
All right.
To Bob and say Nero.
Boozle Bob doesn't understand what that means, but whatever.
Okay.
So we go back to the jail. And upon seeing the halfling, I look to see whether it has a toe missing on his left foot.
He's not missing a toe.
All right. I still ask quizzically, Arden.
He looks as if he doesn't want to. He doesn't answer you, but he looks as if he perks up a bit. Like it seems like he's heard that name.
Do you guys have anything to eat?
I got some chili.
Stay here.
No.
Don't do anything stupid like try to get out. I'll get you something to eat, okay?
He nods. Are you going to lock him up, or are you just going to let him sit in the jail with you guys?
Put him in a cell.
This one's broken. The bar was removed, but the other one works. That's where Boozlebob sleeps sometimes, though.
I'm not gonna sleep there.
Okay. So you're putting the halfling thief in the cell for now. All right.
Boozlebob hasn't slept there since he slept on the body in there.
Fair enough.
And the bars here are close enough together that we don't think a tiny halfling can slip out, right?
Correct. Halflings are derisively called slips. It's like a slur, and they are known to be like wiggly and stuff like that. But you think this was designed to hold halflings too?
Okay.
All right. So Nero, you're just gonna go get him food or whatever.
Sure.
All right. Anybody doing anything else that's interesting? What do you guys want to do about this Boozlebob situation?
Nero will probably, when Bob is not around, try to make a point of saying that we have to do something about this. You can't. I understand why they're angry, and we have to keep Bob out of there, but poisoning a city guard is not something we can let go. And Nero will look him over and do his best to like help him recover and that sort of stuff. I don't know if would there be stuff we could get to help him recover, like a scroll of Lesser Resto or something.
There's a couple of potions of removed disease in the jail loot.
Yeah, this was a poison. You need a potion of Lesser Restoration, or you could ask the priests at the Church of Iomedae.
Something tells me they wouldn't be thrilled.
Would we think that the doctor has something that can help with his bane?
Does anti-venom actually heal things, or it prevents poison, right? Or how does anti-venom
I think it
work?
just prevents you from taking damage from it. I think you have to take it before you have poison.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think she has anything that can do that. I mean, she would recommend like a week's worth of rest.
Sure. So Nero will tend to him as best they can until it's time to, oh, God, you took a beating.
Lesser Resto is, like, even a scroll of it's a second level spell, so that's not super cheap.
Yeah, it's, what, 150? No,
I
it's 75?
have to look. Due process is disconnected. He's reconnected. Second level spells are, 150.
Okay.
And you could get one of the clerics to cast it if they were high enough. But okay, so looks like you can't do too much about the poison. And we were going to get food, Nero? Were you going to the Last Stand Tavern?
No, certainly not after hearing that about Bob.
Okay, so you're going to
Just
the other
like dry
tavern.
goods, rations, stuff like that. You know.
Okay. Yeah, so you
Wherever
go to
he's
the market.
wherever he's getting the sweets and stuff. How young is the halfling?
He's an adult. He's an adult. He's not like a kid or anything like that. He's an adult.
that's-
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll just get some like dry goods and that sort of stuff.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you do that, and you come back, and yeah, the halfling is very hungry, and he'll eat anything you give him. You guys want to do anything else?
I think we should give the halfling chili.
Okay.
Later, definitely. So Nero will basically talk to the halfling as the day goes on and try to like glean some of his story from him, feed him, you know, help him get him some water to get cleaned up and that sort of stuff. I imagine he's not real clean.
Yeah. He's pretty filthy. He's poor. He's desperate. Do you want to do anything with him, Boris?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you want?
Asked me was like, hey, what's your name?
I didn't give him one. I'm the worst. Let's call him. I'm really bad at halfling names. I'm gonna call him Frodo because I'm dumb. I'm just gonna go. He's Frodo. He's Frodo.
Jiren.
Terrible.
Jiren.
Worst GM ever.
Yeah, I didn't give him a name. He's just a halfling thief. Jiren. We'll go with Jiren. Fine. He's Jiren. What do you got?
Jaren, like, where are you from? Tell me, you didn't give him a backstory either.
No, I didn't give him a backstory. He's just a stupid halfling thief. He just says he's from here or there. He grew up in a small town, much like Longacre, and I've just been kind of bumbling my way around.
So, by any chance, have you come across another halfling who's named Arden?
He initially resists saying that. Like he says no, but you can tell he's obviously lying. It's so obvious you don't even need to make a check.
And say, well, Arden, what are you trying to hide? Or why are you trying to hide Arden? Jiren.
He shakes his head, and after a bit of discussion, we won't have to do it. He basically says, Arden left town. Arden, he was always stronger and braver than me, and when he got freed, he left town. He went into the forest.
Well, what do you mean got free?
He says he used to be a slave of House Vex.
Of House Facts? Oh, really? Wait, did the Archbaron own him?
No, not directly. And he explained some stupid arrangement where he wasn't really directly owned, but.
Oh, how did he get free then? Did he just escape, or?
He says I don't know. I mean, he says that we were friends when he was in service of House Vex. I'd see him in the market. We were casual. One day, he just said he was leaving town.
Did he say where he was going to go?
It repeats the forest. He said he would go to the forest.
The forest. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Jaren. I slipped him a silver. Like,
sweet. He's in a cell. I can't really use it yet, but he's happy. He takes the silver. That's going to feed him for a long time. He's very, very happy. Oh.
Like now, Jaren. Like, let me know if you hear anything about Arden or like anything else happening in the town.
Okay. He nods. Again, he's stuck in a cell right now, but.
Yeah, it's like once you'll get out. Just pay your dues, and just remember there's more of that. If you can help me out.
Yeah. So he nods. He's very, very happy to be here. And again, he's this is one of the nicest places he's stayed in recently. He's mostly just been sleeping outside. So he's not super thrilled about being in a cell, but he's been fed and handed money, so he's gonna chill out, and he's not freaking out. All right.
He's not turning into a werebore.
No, he's not turning into a werebore. Not that you've seen. Anybody else want to do anything for the rest of the day? Anything out of character?
Let's get ready for the night.
Would it be a werepiglet?
Yeah, tonight is the night that the thing happens. So, are you doing anything about the poisoning, or are you ignoring it for now?
I think we're gonna do something tomorrow.
Okay.
Probably gonna burn down the fucking bar.
So you guys and Zagar of Vulture Crag, you guys both get ready to thump some skulls. You guys are basically setting up outside the hospice, and you're gonna wait for anybody to come out. You're gonna let them do whatever they're doing inside, and then come out. Okay. So you guys are just over there watching your stuff, and you see.
How do I zoom out?
Sorry.
How do I zoom out?
Oh, I use the
there we
mouse.
go.
If you have a mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out, or it's Control plus and minus will do it.
Oh, okay, thanks. I do not have a mouse wheel. I only have this Microsoft Surface.
Sorry.
I think you can 2-finger pinch.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Fun.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
All right, life is terrible then.
So you guys are hanging out basically in an alleyway, kind of near this thing, and you're just watching, and you see two people. I shouldn't call them that. Whatever.
Humanoids?
Person.
You
Human.
can call them people.
I'm glad you might not have seen their names. Their token names were revealing. All right. Yeah. So you see two people in black cloaks, and if you guys make perception checks to see if you notice that they have chainmail and stuff on under it.
Can't click myself.
You should be able to click yourself. You guys good? Yeah. So they go up to the door. They knock on it, and you guys notice they do like a special kind of knock, like a dun 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 kind of thing. And the doctor lets them in, and they're carrying boxes. Like the two of them are carrying large boxes, and they walk in. And very shortly after, only a couple of minutes later, they walk back.
Wait.
So,
we would surround the door.
Okay, go ahead and do what you want to do. Set up however you like.
I can't select anything right now,
Well,
including myself.
Can you now that I moved you into here? Can you?
Is it because he bumped?
Oh, you
in and out?
reconnected. Did your name change? No, it says you have due process.
No. It was doing that before I disconnected and reconnected. That's why I disconnected and reconnected.
You can't click on anything?
No, I can click on stuff, but like I can't do anything once I do. like I can't select myself. Like whenever I click anywhere,
Mhm.
it just like gives me like the gray box with the like move, path, and numbers.
Are you like stuck there? Maybe you just quit the whole tool and restart it, because maybe even reconnecting might
Okay.
not have fixed that if it got stuck.
Did you accidentally click on the measuring tool?
Oh, yeah. So at the top, you see how there's a bunch of icons. There's like an eyeball, and there's
Oh,
a
user
pointer.
error. Silly me.
Well, that's fine. We never told you about that. So anyway, if you want to measure stuff without actually moving your token, you can kind of measure how far things away. Like if you have a spell that's 35 feet, you can figure out stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Okay, so go ahead and thanks for remembering that, Jeff. Go ahead and set up however you want around the door.
Zagar, Bob,
I draw my bow.
we don't want to kill these people. We want to take them alive if we can.
If
Let them get out into the street. Boars, move. Let them get out into the street.
I'm sorry, I was just.
Let them walk. Let them walk right by you.
Bob grunts, kind of disapprovingly, but says if.
Come right. Bob. Ugh.
Ugh. Set up however you want, guys, and then they're coming out. Where you guys want to be?
Oh no, I can't move. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I moved them off. You should be good now.
I want to get Bob away from the door so they actually come out.
Are you getting away from the door, Bob, or are you staying there?
I will get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I want.
So I'll roll initiative, but you're basically waiting for them to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess you guys would have a surprise round. So would you like to ready anything? Are you preparing anything for when they walk out, or are you just going to let them? You said you wanted to let them walk out all the way.
Wanted them to get out of the. I promised her we wouldn't thug them in the building if we could help it.
Okay. So do you want to be this close, or do you want to be like even further away from the entrance?
Enough that they won't see us as they come out. Enough that they'll
Okay.
get out.
Sure. So we'll just say that
Whatever you need
happens.
to do.
They go ahead and they get out, and we'll say they're far enough so that they're not like right next to the door. We'll just pretend this is further in the street. Yeah.
So I think Iwan would like get within view of the door and be readying a sleep spell on them. She's basically doing her usual thing, like being, doing her little like trickle down thing. But she would wait until they get to a little bit outside the door to trigger.
Sure. That's fine. And Boozlebob, what would you be readying to do as these things were happening?
So Boozlebob has his boot flail at the ready.
Okay.
And if Human One tries anything, Boozlebob's gonna whack him.
Okay. I named them both Human One. That's pretty good. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, so that's fine. So they walk out, and we'll say this is a little further away than the building, and you guys have kind of got the drop on them. So we'll say all the actions go off. So Iwan, go ahead. I'd make a will save, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just pick one of them and do it. So no, I think he shakes it off. He's good enough. And then Boozlebob, you see him walk out, and he's basically walked right next to you before noticing you. And are you doing something?
Yeah, Boozlebob will whack him.
Okay.
Can I whack somebody with a flail non-lethally?
Yes, but you take
Yeah.
a -4 to the hit.
If you
Fine.
rage, you can use your fists non-lethally too.
No, there's a very good reason why Boozlebob's not going to use his fist anymore.
So character.
Just letting you know. Just letting you know.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack, and we have a -4 on it. That's all you need to know. Yeah, so you miss, and you hear under his cloak, you hear it hit chainmail, and he seems unaffected by it. Vors, what would you like to have done in your surprise round that I forgot to ask you about?
Can I sneak behind? Well, sneak behind him and hit him in the back of the head with a sap.
You'd have to walk past them. They're kind of in their formation. They're kind of tightly. You'd have to tumble past them if you'd want to. Or you could just step here and hit him with a zap.
I want to do it sneaky like.
Well, you can. I mean, if you can make a stealth. They're still surprised. So go ahead and make a stealth check and see if they don't notice you. And you can do whatever you like if they don't see you. Yeah. So they haven't noticed you. They're kind of surprised. They got this half orc and a hobgoblin over there, and a gnome trying to put one of them to sleep. And you're just kind of not noticed as this is happening. So what would you like to do?
Wait, so like how does the sap work? I don't even know.
It's just a
You
regular
do
weapon.
damage,
it
but
does
it's
non-lethal without the -4.
Does not lethal without the -4. Nero, we're trying to not kill these people, right?
As best we can.
All right. I'm gonna burn a hero point.
To do what?
Sap him.
You don't have to burn it here. You can just move and
You
sap
can
him.
sap him. He's not going to have a great
All right.
dex. You might still get him.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
do you
and
want to
next-
use it for a +8 on the hit? Like, do you really want to hit him?
I don't know. No, I'll just. I got the stealth going. So, do
Yeah.
I get any bonuses for being like super stealthy?
He has a penalty, and you get sneak attack damage if you have any. Do you? I don't think you do
right.
yet. It's third, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have it. Sorry. So he has a
So
penalty on
1,
his AC.
2, 3, 5. The 5th weapon.
Yeah, hit it.
Oh, I gotta click myself.
Always.
Good.
Boom.
Oh.
Try resyncing. It might not have that. Maybe someone edited it and you didn't sync since then. Then try it again.
I've had it the whole time.
Well, resync and try it again. And while that's happening, Nero,
Is there a
what were you
resync?
readying?
I'm probably ready to cast Bless.
Okay, so the party has bless.
2 minutes.
Remember, everybody has a +1 to hit. Leap. All right.
Do I have to resync? Do I have to disconnect, reconnect?
No, just right click
No.
yourself and hit sync.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then go ahead and mash your button. And then Nero, you get to go again. It's the end of the surprise round, and you won initiative.
He'll say to Zagar, now would be the time. Take them easily if you can. And he points at human 1 and says, down. And he'll cast Command.
Command on human 1, the one that's over here being hit.
Yes, please.
Okay, sure.
Yes, please.
Will save. Aced it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ace rolled that 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so he shakes it off again. So this one didn't fall asleep, and the other one didn't obey your command. And Zagar is just kind of chuckling, thumping skulls. And it's human 1, and he's going to turn to Boozlebob, who tried to hit him. And Vors actually did hit him, so he's going to try to swing at Vors. So you hit him with a sap. Let's see what he has. So he's going to use his sap on you. Since you went non-lethal, he's going to meet you in kind. And a 17 is a hit on you for 2 non-lethal damage. I'll just type it as 2 NL. Alright. There you go. I win.
Can you burn hero points to increase DC of things?
No, not by default. So is that what you're trying to do? Like, so you're interested in doing?
Potentially.
I'd let you do it if you make a spellcraft check. So if you waste a hero point and you make a DC 15 spellcraft check, you can kind of weave your magic to be more powerful. And I'd let it go up by 2. Magic.
I mean,
That doesn't seem worth it.
yeah, but I mean, we're running out of time in the session, and I've got my hero. I think okay. So yeah, let me give it a shot.
Okay.
You'll-
Make a
You'll
spellcraft
still
check.
have it next week if you don't use it.
Yeah, I know, but
But what if you give him another
I'll have
one? He doesn't
others
want to top out.
where? So spellcraft, that one.
Yep.
Whoops, I got to click on myself. That would help.
Always. Yeah, so yeah, you ace it.
Ah.
So yeah, your spell will have a 2 higher DC. So go ahead and
Okay.
what am I doing?
So she'll still be looking at human 2, and just like with more vigor, just like really trying to get her to go.
Ah!
Let's see. Oh man.
They only have a +1. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So he's sorry. Yeah. Even with your gusto, he's still shaking it off. Boozy B.
Boozlebob looks at Nero and says, thumping, kind of asking him.
Try not to kill them.
Boozlebob hits with the small flail lethally.
Okay. A 16 is a hit because you swung lethally for 10 damage, and he is still standing. Zagar of Vulture of Crag, I think he has some kind of a spear. He's going to do it non-lethally like he's supposed to. He has a Bardiche, right? So he's using a Masterwork Bardiche. And he hits him for 3, so not for a whole lot, but 3 non-lethal. So he's got some lethal on the board. Human 2, having been hit by a hobgoblin, steps up and says, "I'm going to enjoy this," and he swings at the hobgoblin lethally with his short sword, and hits him for 4. Vors.
Sap.
Sure. Your sap went away. This is garbage. Resync. Software is trash. While that's happening, Nero.
Nero will try once more, I guess.
Okay, and then one again.
You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'll
You have missed.
try and get in there and give a hand.
Yeah,
Anytime you can give up any time, and Nero will come in and he'll just he'll harry Human 2, so we'll do like an 8 another.
Okay, sure. So go ahead and roll an attack against AC 10. So that's good enough. So basically what he's doing is he's distracting the person so that someone else gets a +2 to hit them, basically.
Somehow I'm better than Zagar.
Yeah. Well, you don't like Zagar? Human 1 is fighting Boozlebob and Vors. Boozlebob, you hit him lethally, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he drops his sap, and he draws his longsword. He swings at you, Boozlebob, and he hits you for 4.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, so while he's drawing that sword, don't I get to hit him?
No,
Nope.
Drawing is not one that does that, because that's like a combat type action. The attack of opportunity stuff is when you're distracted, like you're casting a spell or you're drawing a bow. Just drawing a sword like that is part of combat.
Okay, understood. I thought dropping a weapon would have made that.
No, that's free. You can drop shit for just let go of it.
Interesting.
So yeah, so he swings at you and he hits you for 4, and I win.
Iwan will point at Human 1 and fire a ray off at him.
Oh, good. Is that a fort save for me?
It's not gonna. No, it's a ranged touch attack, but it's not gonna matter because that was a pretty bad roll.
Yeah, you actually missed. The 5 will actually miss. Yeah, and they make a fort save after the to have it. That's
Right. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So Boozy B.
Boozy B looks at Nero, kind of crying, and says, "Thumpin'."
You've already hit him.
One more. Give him
What?
one more.
Okay.
A 19 is a threat. Roll it again, Boozy B. Whoops! You did 18 damage. He is not dead. He's bleeding to death on the ground.
Praise Jesus. I'll get a chance at him.
All right. Zagar of Ultra Crag is gonna 5-foot step back and bardiche him.
+2.
Yeah, he hits for 5. Boom. And this is non-lethal. Human 2 is he's gonna ignore Nero. He's basically fighting Zagar. He's not giving up just yet. He sees his friend down, and that's a good point actually. Yeah, he's brave enough to keep fighting Zagar. Misses Zagar. Vors.
How do bows work? Does it take a turn to draw?
No. You can just like a regular weapon. They do provoke when you shoot right next to somebody, but drawing it's free for you at this point.
All right, so rapid shot then.
Sure, I'd let you do that. Why not?
Interesting.
What is that?
You can just roll
I
your
don't
bow
even know.
twice and you have a -2 on it.
I didn't know which one my bow was.
It's probably 2. The default range.
The
It
one
is
that
too.
looks like a bow.
It's yeah. So the first one missed and the second one hit. So you hit him for 8 damage. Do you have point blank shot?
I do.
Yeah. So you deal another 1. You have +1 to hit and damage, and also you have +1 to all these hits because of bless is in effect. So you nail him for 9 damage, and he takes an arrow to the back, and he's really really hurt by that. Nero.
Nero jumps on the friend and says, "Give up. I promise you won't be killed in the street if you give up." And Nero is stabilizing Human 1. He just reaches out his hand and the guy touches him and the guy stops bleeding.
Very good. He was at -13 of -14, so congratulations. Human 1 would have died right then, but he's stable and alive. Still. I win.
I'm gonna delay.
Okie doke.
Okay, so I can walk over human 1 without getting dead.
Yeah, he's prone and unconscious and done. Yeah.
Okay, Boozlebob's gonna walk over to human 2.
Mm.
Can I non-lethally hit him after doing that move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take
Okay,
a
I'm gonna
-1.
non-lethally swing my flail at him.
Sure.
And Boozlebob is like crying and muttering to himself about the bones in his flail.
That is a miss, even with the flank and everything. Yeah, that's sorry.
Yeah.
You've missed.
Okay.
Zagar of Vulture Crag backs up and gets the flank, and he says, thank you, Orc. And he stabs with his Vardish, and that is also a miss. With Blessed, still a miss, yeah. Human 2, surrounded. He is going to give up unless he's super brave. Yeah, he's giving up. He surrenders. He drops his longsword. And he puts his hands up.
Boozlebob grabs him while his hands are up.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't resist. You're basically grappling him. You're in complete control.
I win. We'll find out what they were carrying. Do we know who these guys are?
Make a knowledge check.
While this is going on, Boozlebob looks at Zagar and says, "Human."
And Zagar looks at you and twists his head. He says, do not be ashamed of what you are. What you are makes you strong. He points to he's got like orange-red skin. He says, not pale skin. You and me, we're strong. Stronger. He flexes.
Boozlebob likes when people flex, but he's holding a guy, so...
Yeah, Zagar just nods at you. He's like, you're not like Little Mouse. You're more like me, the Little Mouse, and you know it.
Yeah.
In any event, Zagar he's whistling as he's helping to bind up the humans. He's very happy to be doing it. Hobgoblins are notorious slavers. And what do you guys want to do? Oh, you made knowledge checks. Okay, let's see. Iwen doesn't know. Vors doesn't know. Boozlebob and Nero. You don't know one of them, but Human 2 is one of the veteran deputies that used to serve Rona Stalish.
Okay.
So we've got about 8 minutes left, so I guess we're going to call it here. You guys want to do anything else before the session ends? And we can do a Google Plus thing for you questioning these guys.
Interrogation. Get them back. Find out what was in the boxes. I guess I'd send Awen in to find out what was in the boxes.
More weapons.
Okay. So like standard stuff.
Yeah, all simple weapons, like stuff you would give commoners to fight.
Okay.
Do you want to do detect magic on the bag?
Oh yeah, it's a magic type 1 bag of holding. I already told him what it was. He can figure
Yeah,
it out.
we would have figured it out. We can
It's
cast
awesome.
detect
You
magic.
basically put a lot of stuff in there as long as it's not sharp. Sharp stuff can puncture the bag, so no sharp stuff. But then every time you reach into it, you get what you want. So like even if there's hundreds of things in there, you go like alchemist fire, and you grab it and it just comes out. It's a magic bag. Anything else, you guys?
No. Let's find him up, get him into the jail.
All right, we'll pick up there next time. We'll do a Google Plus thing where you can do the interrogation, and that's it. Thanks for playing, guys.